welcome back to Tabletop Titans. My name is Adrian, your only host today, because unfortunately we had a last-minute thing come up for Brian, and so he had to cancel. So unfortunately what this means is we're going to have to postpone today's game, so really sorry for that for you guys. What we're thinking is we will actually do it next Thursday, though. So if you want to see this matchup, I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, especially the return of the Golden Boys, as played by Not Bridger. That'll be happening next Thursday, so we're just going to bump that. So again, big apologies to all you guys, but we do really appreciate you coming out. We know it's Saturday, so we do want to take a few minutes, do some Q&A, chat with you guys a bit. So if you have any questions, Bridger and I are going to be taking any of those questions. We got some answers for you, so we're just going to go ahead and dive on in.
All right, here. I'm coming.
He's coming in.
Oh, this is a Saturday debut, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done it Saturday.
I know, it's crazy.
Right. Hi, guys.
Yeah, we usually keep you in the dungeon and let you out only on Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesday is my day.
That's right.
All right. So let's start it off with a super reading, like always, right?
Sounds great.
Always
like
a super reading.
Yeah.
Thanks, super reading. Hey, guys. Posting before the lists go up, but I don't think it's a stretch to imagine that even in Mixed Eldar, there will be no Phoenix Lords showing up today. At least I'm a Sherman. That's the case.
That was beautiful.
That is good.
Not a stretch at all.
No, not a stretch. I just played with the word a little bit.
Right, yeah. A Sermon was like the closest thing to a Phoenix Lord. Like I actually considered him momentarily. There was that moment in the beginning of the edition where it was like maybe that 4+ Invuln on the Dire Avengers, and then it's like no, it's not enough. It's not enough. So thanks, Super.
We played that, right? We played a Sermon and Dire Avengers in a bunch of Wave Serpent.
Yeah, at some point I want to do because he's good with big squads, like just max out Dire Avengers with him. Yeah. I still don't think it's the best, but yeah.
All right, thanks, Max. Indeed, sure can try and make Phoenix Lord useful, but they're not catapulting ahead of the competition at any rate. Wow, I didn't expect a doubleheader. I blasted a few couple of those because I wasn't expecting double puns from two different people. I mean, playing off each other.
Some people say that this is why people watch the channel. It's just for the puns.
Today might be their favorite show.
And our next pun.
All right, thanks. The Architect, sup guys? After the past battle reports, I am now dubbing Brian as King of Filth Rolls. I only know one other like that, and we call him Dice Gimp.
Dice Gimp.
Well, you know what we could do?
What's that?
While we're here.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of our Meme of the Week that we otherwise wouldn't get to show.
Meme of the Week.
So I'm going to go pop over here.
Let's do it.
Let's do Meme of the Week. All right, so
what are we looking at?
Our first Meme of the Week today is from Digital Designer. It's a nice close-up of Brian getting table's eye view. No, Adrian, I can't see any mercy in my rolls down here either.
Oh, man.
What a great meme.
That's beautiful.
What a great meme.
Yeah.
Lots of great memes this week.
It was so, that was amazing. I was getting like shellacked, and he's like, I don't know if you could see it. And I was like, Brian. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, I think this counts as a concession on his part, so I think I win.
The streak is broken.
Streak is broken.
You're
the
back.
Curse is gone.
Adrian's back.
Oh, I've been on such a losing streak, so I'm glad that it's done with. Looking forward to only wins from now on.
Only wins. Starting Tuesday.
That's right.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Aussie war cry is Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. What would your country's war cry be?
Ooh.
Oh boy, we should be real careful here.
We do, but also, you said Aussie again.
It's spelled Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. You gotta do it like that.
No.
You just do your orc voice, and it'll be like pretty close.
I'm like very uncultured, and that's become a theme on the channel. It's how uncultured I am, and I will mispronounce anything from your country. You tell me to say it, I will mispronounce it, guaranteed. Yeah. Nail it every time.
Yeah, you're like, what is this? Yako Bell? What the? Like Bridger.
So what would our war cry be? Oh man, everything I would say would be offensive. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
I don't know if we can answer this one, but you Americans in chat, you know.
Yep.
You can probably think of a few of them.
Thanks again, Aaron. Just finished Horus Heresy 1. Horus is an amazing character, very human, emotional, and understandable. Who are your favorite Heresy characters?
Ooh, good question. It's funny because I'm going to answer the opposite of that question first. I hate Ezekiel in the first books. He's such a little, you know what? Because he's such a brat. He's grumpy. He's angry all the time. And this is like young brash Ezekiel.
Right.
And then the Horus, not Horus Heresy, the Talon of Horus series where it covers Abaddon later on, before his sort of like rise. It's such a good transition from like the hot-blooded youngin to like now he's seasoned, he's like seen some things, and it's actually a really nice character arc.
Right.
So that does not answer the question, but that's something that I've noted because he like I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna see Abaddon in his younger days, and like, he's kind of just a jerk, like, yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say there's many times where they name a guardsman and they follow a guardsman for a while. Like in the Alpha Legion book.
Yeah, totally.
They follow a guardsman.
Yeah.
And they're the most relatable characters because I'll tell you what, Space Marines are not relatable characters.
Yeah, no, it's the worst.
They're so headstrong and like aren't afraid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And in all these battlefield things, I would be like terrified. So I'm the guardsman guy.
They're written in very like yeah, you can't relate to them at all.
Right.
I actually really like Perturabo, and I get made fun of this, but he. So okay, the one problem with Perturabo, which is a problem that a lot of the Primarchs have in the writing, is like they're supposed to be geniuses, but they act really dumb. They like do dumb things and they like think dumb thoughts. Yeah. But I actually did like he is just this resolute warrior. He doesn't really want to deal with anyone. Like he wants to work on his craft. He has a literal miniatures workshop where he makes miniatures and like super intricate like tiny like clocks and things and clockwork stuff, and like I just love that. It's such a great like character, and then he gets bamboozled by another Primarch, and because he's like simple and naive, and he just doesn't understand how anyone can think that way. So I was like actually surprised. I was like, I kind of dig this. This is like some depth I did not expect from a character.
Doran is kind of like that too. Doran is like he never understands why anybody does anything. Yeah. He's just grumpy.
Yeah.
Like, why are you? Come on. He's like the upset dad. Like, come on.
He is.
Do the right thing. What are you doing?
Exactly. I know. It's funny because every time Doran comes in, I'm like, all right, there's some boring monologue coming on. And he's just like, yeah, no, I feel you.
All right. Thanks again, Aaron.
Thank you.
1K tournament next month in Westralia as Genestealer Cult or Imperial Guard. Do you have any tips on how to beat Morty or Lord Discordant? Mission or Troop Body Spam?
Oh my god. I would ban Morty at 1,000 points, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't normally like support comps, but in that case.
Well, you're Guard, so you can take Relic of Lost Cadia. And if you're far enough away, you still get your rerolls.
Can you take enough firepower, though, at 1,000 points to do that?
Well, Rule 3 becomes Rule 2, so you only get 2 tank commanders with the boom boom gun.
Yeah.
Demolisher. 24 inch also kind of spooky. They like go up.
But it's a small board, right?
Yeah, but you're 24 inches from Mortarion, that's what I'm saying.
That's true.
If you don't kill him, you lose. So.
That's true. I would go GSC, honestly.
Really?
And not kill him, partially.
Oh, you just run around.
Just be playing objectives, slow him down where you can, which is not much, but you just play the mission around him mostly. Right. That is an army that you could absolutely tech into killing him, right? If you take. Nope, never mind.
No. You were gonna say either mining lasers, which would all miss, or rock saws,
which go down to 1 damage.
And he would just shrug off.
Well, because normally like they don't really get rerolls unless you're running like a Primus and things like that. So normally it's actually fine.
Right.
But it's the -1 damage in that case.
When it's the fact that most of your threats are combat threats.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, you lose.
You could mental onslaught him through all 18 wounds and the Feel No Pains.
What's his leadership? 9?
At least, yeah. Oh. But you can get a Patriarch with leadership 11.
You used to be able to get like leadership 13 or something ridiculous, right? You like stack a bunch of buffs.
Those were the days, and you couldn't auto break out on a 6. It was just like, So that's what I tried. That'd be tough.
I would go with Guard here. If you have a choice between the two, and you're worried about Mortarion, I would go Guard, and I would put Relic of Lost Cadia, unfortunately, on your army roster.
Yeah.
And your other matchups might be tough because of that.
Yeah, but to be fair, the rest of there's going to be a lot of other Death Guard in general because they're just popular. So I think it's not terrible. Yeah.
And still get those rerolls against Dark Angels.
There you go.
Had to squeeze that in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Steven. Hey guys, my first army is Tau, and I've just started an AdMech army. After watching Tau in the last stream, they faced AdMech and both started blasting. Who do you think would come out on top? I know what I would say. What
the AdMech?
No, actually.
Really?
I think if Tau play it, if they both just sit there and blast each other, Tau will survive the first turn of shooting with no losses because of drones, and they'll blast back.
Interesting.
So no matter who goes first, Tau goes first?
Yeah.
So Tau will always get like 2 shoot phases?
Right. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so that's premeditating it a bit.
Yeah.
Which I was assuming like they're both blasting. But yeah, because we did this test at one point, right? When we were in the early days of 9th edition, when we were just testing a bunch of armies before we did all the stuff, and we tested the Castellan robots versus a bunch of Riptides, I think, even something like that.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately it came down to the Tau's favor because of that maneuverability.
Right.
So that's fair. That's fair. If you take that into consideration, which I guess you have to.
But also, I wouldn't run triple Riptide anymore, which is, I know, strange.
Yeah.
But
No.
9 broadsides is a very heavy skew list.
Yeah.
And that's not a matchup 9 broadsides loses.
No. Well, yeah, no.
They could get outmissioned, but I think even priests crumple under 9 broadside fire.
No, the main thing is we're thinking about shooting, so I'm thinking about Wrath of Mars on Castellan robots. Right? So you're doing mortal wounds.
Oh, maybe you're not, though. Because the way that works
drones.
now, Savior Protocol pulls the mortals out as well.
Oh, if they save your protocol, then that's turn off. Yeah, that's
Which
right.
is dumb.
So dumb.
You know,
Oh,
but
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Tau has like the perfect answer to that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the regular shots.
I think I would give it to 9 broadsides.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you, Maxie.
Hey.
Happy Saturday, Titans. Hope you guys are well. Let's see if Golden Light Boys can beat Dancing Elves. They conceded.
We will find out. We'll find out. Yeah. And to be clear, guys, everything's all good. Everything is going to be going back to normal on Tuesday. So don't worry. I'm going to pull up chat in a second, see what you guys are saying live, but everything's good. So
I see super chats coming in.
I know.
I don't know what that means. Maybe they know that we can't communicate right now.
That's the only way you'll see it. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up in the app here so I can see you guys' live time chats. But thank you. And again, we'll find out Thursday.
And then Maxie's matchups for today are Trajan versus Demon Angron.
Demon Angron.
Yeah, it's
Hands
a different
down.
power level.
Hands down.
Yeah, it's a bummer though. If Trajan was like played up to be what he could be,
Right.
like if he, I don't know, like you give a guy time travel, and he's a god man.
Wait, who has time travel?
He has the moment shackle,
Oh,
he has time
yeah.
and he'll still lose. That's the bummer. It's like Trajan's just not.
Yeah. He fights him. He's about to die. He's like, okay, one more time. Turns back. And also, yes, I'm imagining it's a time turn from Harry Potter. But anyways, he goes back in time and does it again. He's like, no, one more time.
Yeah.
I just don't see him winning that fight, like
He doesn't win.
lore or otherwise. Oh, I have
it's
us.
us.
I have us live.
Hi us.
So yeah, I'm just taking a look at chat.
Yeah, so I would give that unfortunately to Angron. And the other matchup is Malcador versus Demon Magnus. Demon Magnus like famously didn't lose, right? Like Normal Magnus was already famously not losing any fight ever.
Yeah.
Demon Magnus.
Yeah. Wait, against Malcador?
Yeah.
The Sigillite?
Yeah. But Malcador is like a mythological creature. Like even within 40k,
Yeah.
he's like a wizard. He's like Merlin.
Yeah. He's like Merlin. Yeah. So if this is a pure mind battle, it's pretty close actually.
And that's crazy that we're even like comparing just a human guy.
Yeah. Is he though? Is he just human?
Demon Magnus. But like that's how cool Malcador is.
I think if the mind war, it's very close. I think if they're physically like across from each other, I think it's a little less close personally. You know?
Just like
yeah. I mean,
Malcador dies.
Yeah. So I got to give it there.
How's chat? Are people?
They're asking. We have some people that are just tuning in right now. Yeah, we had to cancel. We had a last minute come up, so Brian won't be able to make it. So we're just doing Q&A. We're just chilling. We're chatting, and big apologies to you guys for that. But again, we will do this specific matchup next week on Thursday. So definitely check that out. Yes, and yes, I don't have my glasses, guys. I finally got contacts.
It's a lot of 7s.
Yeah, it's a lot of 7s.
Oh, this is like a permanent change? You're wearing your no glasses?
No. So I used to be like both kind of person, and then right when COVID started, I ran out of contacts, and I was like, don't really feel like going into the doctor's office right now.
That's fair.
And so I finally got some more, so it'll be a little bit back and forth. Yeah, so which is good because there's nothing worse. You glasses wearing people know there's nothing worse than wearing glasses during the rainy season because you're just blind half the time. So, anyways.
There were a lot of people comparing you to certain celebrities.
Oh, really?
On Thursday.
Like
the first time they
handsome celebrities or like?
I think I saw Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah. I was gonna say like Danny DeVito.
No.
I would also take Danny DeVito.
Okay. All right, thanks, Kyle. Hey, Titans. What would you like to see out of the Custodes Talons of the Emperor Codex related to Sisters of Silence? They have to be troops.
Yes, make them troops.
Not as troops. They're like, what's the point?
Yeah, because they're already they have a very specific role. So we took them today. They were going to be able to do not much even because a lot of their defensive psychic capabilities are only against like smite, like mortal wounds coming in, right? And so they're highly specific, but if you can at least have them also filling in a troops role, then they become really interesting. And not only as like a psychic defense, but as just a cheap way to fill up those battalions and things
and
like
their
that.
OBSEC and like
Yeah, OBSEC, yeah.
It's sort of, if you compare, I think this is, people are gonna think this is crazy. If you took guardsmen
Okay.
and you made them an elite slot in the Space Marine Codex, that's my analogy. Is like, why would you? They lose OBSEC.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really do anything the
Yeah.
Space Marines can't do better. Why are they there? And yes, I know sisters have psychic defense, but like,
yeah,
they just can't be targeted.
I think what I would do potentially, if James was worried about people spamming them out and seeing, the return of like Space Marine scout armies, you limit how many you can take, right? Because I think you make them OBSEC, you make them fill those troop slots, but if they're worried about this rarity issue where it's like, well, the reason that they're elites is because they should be more rare.
Right.
It's not like the same 1-to-1, but like maybe limit it. Maybe say you get
the Poxwalker rule.
the Poxwalker
One
rule.
per.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Exactly. James?
James, get on it. We know you listen.
Naturally.
Thanks, Kyle. Hey, Titans. What would you like to see out of the new Thousand Suns Codex? Also, what changes would you like to see for Zangor specifically? I think Zangors are also going to get the Poxwalker rule.
Sadly, yes.
Because James doesn't like spamming things that aren't what they think it should look like.
Yeah, it's messed up. But I know there were some people, like my dad in particular, was concerned about if they go too heavy into that things, because some people just don't like the aesthetic. They want to play Rubric Marines and stuff like that. And so there was the danger of like, well, okay, we introduced Zangors, we have the Shaman, we have the Enlightened. Like in the new book, are we going to see more? I don't think so. I think it's going to be the opposite. Like you said, they're actually going to tone down how much you can take.
Yeah.
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I want their psychic to be more diverse and not just mortal wounds. Cult of Magic is amazing, but I think there's more interesting things that can be done with that. So, and then obviously, I think I'll be curious to see, looking at like all the new sections of the current codexes, how those would translate to Thousand Suns. I think there's so much they can do with it. I can't even begin to like imagine the possibilities.
You could like upgrade your sorcerers. You know how
That'd be
Necrons upgrade their Technomancers?
Yeah.
You like upgrade your sorcerers with different cool new spells or something?
Exactly. And like Dark Angels can give Inner Circle to, or is Deathwing keyword, which gives Inner Circle.
Yeah.
Like things like that, I think will be really interesting for like customizing what should be a really customizable army, in my opinion.
Could be cool.
That could be cool.
Could be cool. All right, thanks again, Kyle. Been struggling to make a decision on a Space Marine chapter. I'm leaning towards the Flesh Terrors without Sanguinary Guard. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've seen Flesh Terrors done in a really, really cool way. I think Tabletop Tactics did Flesh Terrors recently.
That's right.
But they do have Sanguinary Guard. If you're going to run Flesh Terrors without Sanguinary Guard, you're going to want to lean into Death Company, which I think is very fitting for your Flesh Terrors.
Yep.
And you got to get the named character, their Chapter Master.
That's cool.
Gabriel Seth. I outed myself.
No, that was good.
Nice.
You
Nailed
did,
it.
you did.
Boom.
Good job.
His rules are, unless they got updated, he's probably in here somewhere. They were dumb. His rules were like
Is
funny.
he a cordial model?
They were meme. Yeah.
Oh, the Flesh Terror one.
Yeah. He's a.
No, he's
Definitely.
Take a look. All right.
His rules used to be a meme. It was like exploding sixes in an aura, which is now just a thing you can put on anybody in any chapter of anything.
I mean, also, Blade Guard is still great, and Assault Master
is
still great.
Flesh Terrors aren't in Forge World
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
He used to be Forge World. Now
they're in the Blood Angels Codex.
He's just the bloody boy.
Yeah, cool. I wasn't crazy. So he's pulling up the book right now, guys.
But it's still a resin model from Forge World. I don't think you can just buy Gabriel Seth.
It's not Finecast? It's an old model for sure.
It might be Finecast.
Yeah. Oh, the Blade Guard just came out. The new box set. Oh, sorry, I just saw it in the book. I'm really excited for that. I already have like a bunch of the Indominus ones, so I'm not going to be getting the new box set, but I'm really excited for it.
Well, they keep doing this thing where they, there he is. They keep doing this thing where they have a big box set that's the only way to get models.
Yeah.
So you buy like a ton of that box, and then they later re-release those models in a new kit, and you're like, oh, but I want all the weird upgrade bits.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's
I have maximum of them.
Yeah.
And maximum of everything else in that box.
Well, it's just, Brian and I both did the same thing with the Dark Imperium box for the Death Guard. Almost all of our regular Marines, our Poxwalkers, everything, it's just from that box. We actually have none of the customizable Plague Marines, which is an amazing box, but we just had enough from buying the core box from that. So it's the same thing, right?
That was a good box.
It was a great box.
All right, Gabriel Seth, does he still has Whirlwind of Gore.
Nice.
So he fights twice, which I think he used to have. But it's excessive because he kills everything he touches.
It's +1 damage on 6s.
Oh, in an aura?
Oh!
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
But he himself is strength 8, AP2, flat 3 damage.
Yeah.
So his fight twice rule is kind of a meme because he has 5 attacks, 6, 7, 8 on the charge. Or he's not Death Company, so 7 on the charge. So what is he not killing that he fights twice?
That's amazing.
I don't know, but
Marines that are probably Deathwing that are transhuman.
If he fails to kill anything,
yeah,
fighting twice. But yeah, +1 damage on 6s.
Cool.
That's cool.
I like it, and I actually like the chapter tactic. Like you lose the mobility of regular blood angels, but you become more lethal. Which is why, like, you know, Death Company and things like that are good because you've lost some mobility in the advance and charge, so you want to use units that can kind of regain it, like you said, right?
Yeah. And Death Company are dope.
They're just cool. They're really cool.
Thank you. Oh, where was I? That was it. Thank you, Tyler. Surprised and excited to see Custodes today. Gotcha. I've been experimenting with Gilliman attached to my Custodes with some success. Would you ever take Gilliman over Trajan for rerolls? Okay, here's my spiel.
Let's hear it.
Gilliman and Custodes. No. If you're taking Gilliman with Custodes, it's because you want to play with Gilliman.
Yeah.
It's not because you want your Custodes to be better.
Yeah.
I don't even take Trajan anymore because there's a character that you could take. Whatever role you're trying to fill with Trajan, there's another character in the Custodes book that could do it better.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get a beat stick, you could take a Bite Captain. If you're trying to just have a cheap character hold an objective or a buff character, you'd have a Terminator Captain and they deep strike.
Yeah.
Like, he's so expensive. He gets you 3 CP. That's cool. Gilliman, if you're making me Warlord, also gives you 3 CP, but now...
He gives the wound bubble, too.
Yeah, it's just like... That's so expensive. Gilliman is meant to be a force multiplier for Space Marines.
Yeah.
That's like his design.
Exactly.
It's like he has 1,000 rules, and they all make Space Marines better. And he's like pretty good in combat, but he's not his points good in combat.
Yeah, exactly.
And the buffs you get for General Imperium, just not enough for his points.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think if you want to run him, do it. Yeah. But if it's an efficiency thing, yeah, I think you're paying too much for what you get.
Because you're every Custody list, when you think about what do I want, like you build out in your head, you're like, I want this and this and this.
Right.
It's 3,000 points.
Yeah,
like you can't build.
That
a
is how you start.
List. Right. Like it's you run out of points immediately.
Yeah.
So shoehorning in a giant model like Gilliman,
right,
you're cutting important things.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't get me wrong, I love Gilliman.
That's right.
I took him to
he's super cool.
SoCal last year.
Yeah.
Not last year. Oh jeez. Time.
I know.
2, 3 years ago? How many years ago now?
It's crazy.
Thanks, damn it. Howdy, gang. I am at 9,000 points worth of Necron, so I feel like I'm good on collecting more of them for a while now. My question is, what should I start on next? A Warhammer Fantasy Battle VC. Vice counts. Vampire counts. There we go. Or Beastmen Army, or focus on terrain for an at-home table. Did they announce? I remember hearing something about Vampire Counts coming back, but then I think it was people getting trolled by a character in a
so
game.
It's a warband actually. Yeah, for the what's it called the Hex game. Anyways, the Hex game that's popular. So yeah, that was really unfortunate. I was really sad about that. I'm not sure that because I'm not sure if they're actually VC is that. What else is VC in Sigmar?
That's Vampire Counts, man.
I know a tradition is, but they're not even an army. There's
cool.
There's no faction. There's no keyword that's Vampire Counts anymore. Very collectible.
Victorious Champions.
Yes. The Victrix Circuits. It's a robot Ultramarine army. Beastmen are really cool. Well, just stew on that VC for a second. Beastmen are really cool. They're not a great army, I'll be honest. But
they're
like
old.
Competitively. But they're really cool. I love the aesthetic of them. I love the Herdstone. So they're really fun. That's an army I would even consider playing. And you can play them in multiple different ways.
This person's not even talking about AOS. It's actual Warhammer Fantasy Battle.
Oh!
That's what, because it was, like, I even read it out. Warhammer Fantasy Battle, Vampire Counts, or Beastmen. Go Vampire Counts. Come on, man.
That's pretty cool.
Like the coolest army ever made in any game.
Cool. There you go.
They're pretty cool.
See, I told you something was off. I just... went in the wrong direction. Yeah, Vampire Counts, super cool. I love playing them in
the video game.
Yeah, Total War.
Total War 3 is coming out.
I'm excited. So much fun.
Do you play Vampire Coast or Vampire Counts?
Mostly Counts, to be honest.
I'm a Vampire Coast guy. I like shooting.
Coast is cool. Yeah,
I just like shooting.
You like the hipster ones.
They're not hipster. They're just new and like I just like shooting. Like I would play dwarves if you could not be where they are in the campaign. Like, their campaign sucks.
Yes. Well, that's my biggest gripe about the game is, like, I like to play certain factions, which means I'm always fighting against certain factions. It's like, all right, gotta deal with the dwarves before I can get to something else, you know? And every time I play my brother, he plays wood elves that are, like, secluded in, like, such a defensible position. And I'm like, by the time I get there, because I'm like, we're playing a multiplayer campaign, I want to fight you. And I'm, like, trudging through, it's like going through Russia, you know, with, like, Napoleon's army. By the time I get there, I'm like, I have nothing left. And he just wipes me out, and I was like, good talk.
Classic wood elves.
Yeah.
They just sit in their forest and wait for you to die.
I know. Well, the first time I saw it, I was like, that is so perfect. And then it wasn't so funny the second and the third time around, you know?
All right, thanks again, Damn It. Also, super excited to see my girls hit the table. Thursday.
Yeah, we want to run them for sure.
Y'all need to give more love to the Sword and Flamer girls, though. 10 Flamers popping out of their Rhino is nothing to sneeze at against Demons or Grey Knights. Spicy. Yes.
That's true.
That's a win more, though. They're already, in those matchups, they're already killing it no matter what you put on them.
Yeah.
So putting more points into a unit that's winning that matchup doesn't... Why?
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair. I think I'm looking at the shelf right now. We do have some sword ones. I don't know if we have flamer ones, but you know Brian, he's gonna bring them at some point. So
he'll
like when do we tell him not to?
Have unlimited.
We told him not to in this game actually. I was like, they're really cool. I want to see them, but they won't do that much. He's like, nah, I'm gonna do it anyways. So I was like, good.
He just wants to play those models.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get them here.
Thanks again, Damn It. Would love to see a tote. TOTE. Anyway, versus Demons game, you have chunky Custodies to deal with the Exalted Big Boys, and then tons of Sisters of Silence. Oh, Talons of the Emperor. To mob up the chaff, that spicy -1 to Psyker in 18 inches. Custodies might just win. That's the problem, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that, like, when we're trying to find good matchups to bring Sisters of Silence, they're this, like, weird surgical tool to just win certain matchups, and they're just a waste of points almost in every other matchup. Yeah. And I know that's like a strong way to put it. I know you guys love your sisters. Anybody who owns sisters wants to play them in every game.
They're so cool.
And will look for ways to make them useful.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is, in most games, they're not worth their points. Except the games where they just win it for you.
Right.
Which doesn't make an interesting show. So we struggle with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough thing. And you know what would solve this? Make them troops.
They were troops, yeah.
Give them something else to do, right? Some other role to perform. So, you know, not to beat a dead horse, but, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coffee Eater. If I'm reading this right, you can measure from drop pods open doors for the 9-inch range. Others can't deep strike near, possibly interesting in combo with normal use or something that doesn't work out in practice.
So the problem with drop pods that is related to that is they're easy to just tag, and if you have shooting, which you do because you're Space Marines, they'll just stay in combat with that drop pod for as long as they feel like and be unshootable essentially. Yeah. And the wings, the doors will make that easier to do. Do they still have that rule where you can play them with door open or door closed?
It's been a point of contention for, I want to say, decades now.
Yeah.
Games Workshop gave some meaningless answer that was like, you can consistently play, like if you want the doors to open, you have to open all of them or something. Like they gave some answer that just wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Like
I wouldn't.
It's just a headache.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like you're looking for an argument. You might think it's like a cool trick or a cool ploy, but it's really just like worming around the rules of the game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I remember there was a time for about a month when in 8th edition when they actually officially they made the stance. They're like, yeah, you can do it either way. This is how it is. And I went to a tournament when that was legal for it was like the one weekend that it was actually played in tournaments, and it was bananas because at the time everything that came in from deep strike would scatter. Right. Except drop pods would still scatter, but they couldn't they couldn't die or whatever, and so they would just scatter as far as they could. And so people would bring I remember John Fearheim brought 30 drop pods, the Dark Angels, doubled out battle company, and just filled the entire board with them. They just all land, boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's scattered? No, it's right here. Boom, 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 boom. Which is ridiculous and silly and horrible. But the thing that made it even worse was this was 8th edition, where unless you exploded a vehicle, it remains as a wreck. So it would just
7th edition.
Oh, 7th. Was it 7th? Yeah, this was 7th edition. And so it was just like you can't move anywhere. They just sit there. It's just like you can't even play the game. So it was like a meme that was funny, but I would never want to play that in a real game.
Yeah, something to remember in even current editions, you can't move through your own models. So if you open up all the petals of the drop pod,
you have a giant bubble you have to
you're
go
move
around.
blocking everybody. It's not just your opponent; it's you as well. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
just don't. And if you have it glued open, it's too late. You did it. Play with your model. That's fine. But if you have it like so that you can move the petals, just keep them closed. Keep it easy.
I've never seen someone glue it open. They're just like, yes, I want. Like, how do you store that? Like, I just have this flower. Do you have like a multiple of them? Like, are they all? Like, I would hang them on my wall, like, as decorations. That would be amazing.
As
like
a lampshade.
Yeah, or as a lampshade. It's beautiful. I should do that.
All right. Sorry if that wasn't the answer you wanted. But that's the honest answer. Thanks, Martin. This is Dark Angel Martin. And we're going to have a few of these. And I can't set them aside, so we're just going to get through all of them.
All right, it's Martin time.
Because I'm on my phone. Thanks, Martin. Hey, Titans. I see that the Golden Boys have taken a break from giving the Emperor his sponge bath. How do you think they hold up against 9th Ed codexes? Custodians are in this weird spot. Yeah. They're doing a balancing act between you can like really make a strong list. You can put a bunch of effort into optimizing your list, and it punches above its weight, and it can compete with some 9th edition codexes, but still loses to others. Or you tone it down, and it tones down really far, really fast.
Yeah,
Custodians become subpar like immediately and can't compete with any 9th edition codex. So they need a codex, but they're doing well for a non-codex army.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That's really good analysis of it, honestly, and that's why on the channel it's nice because we can kind of flex them either way. Like obviously we're playing mixed Eldari, which nobody's really worried about, and it's not a bad Custodians list, but it's not fully optimized, right?
No, yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree. Well said.
Thank you. Thanks again, Martin. So a few people in the community have been asking, and I was hoping you could reassure them that if they paint their Custodes Terminators white, they can play them as Deathwing. No. Anytime you use a Chaos model as an Imperium model, there's going to be questions asked, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would work.
It would not work. That is just a straight up a different model. Yeah. If you extensively converted them, it would probably be fine.
Well, it's a different size too. Like it's Custodes Terminators, big boys.
I wouldn't do it. My command squads are regular Terminator armor, and then Custodes arms,
right?
And that keeps the scale, right? And it's clearly not a Custodes, right? And I don't even use their shoulder pads, so something like that. But I wouldn't just paint them white and use them as Deathwing. Right. That would not fly.
And the base sizes would be wrong.
The base sizes.
Custodes Terminators aren't real big base. Certainly Aquilons are on.
Yeah, and the weapons are all wrong. Bases. Like, what are you using that as?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
don't do it.
Yeah. Sorry. It sounded like Martin thought
this
was
just a joke. It's a meme.
Okay, cool.
I think it's just memeing.
Yeah. Please don't.
Thanks, Martin. I feel bad that Eldar have so many old models in the line. Do you think that each codex release should see a troop type re-release? Has that been true so far? That has been true so far, right?
Has it?
Space Marines, all the Space Marines got Assault Intercessors.
Sure, yeah.
Necrons got new Warriors.
Okay.
Death Guard did not get new Plague Marines.
I think the Eldar are most likely to get the Space Marines. Well, that's a big word, but the Necron treatment, where I think they need sweeping changes and improvements. So, in my opinion, I think when we do see the Eldar come out, I'm not saying it's Codex, but the next kind of big release of their models will be like a ton of them and a big revamp like the Necrons line.
They need it.
Yeah, exactly.
They need it more than the Necrons need it.
Yeah, that's true. Because the Necrons had a bunch of great models. They just all had terrible rules, right? And so these guys are so old.
I mean, the Wave Serpent model was in the 90s, right?
Yeah. I like the Wave Serpent model, though.
Old.
I like it. That one's cool.
It's old.
So what makes me mad, though, is like when they keep updating units that don't need to be updated, like the Howling Banshees or even the Incubi, right? So I have all of the last generation Incubi. And I was assembling some more of them, and I looked on the bottom where it's like the date, and it was like 2010. And I was like, why did they
do this?
Like so soon afterwards, they made a new model that didn't need it, and yet there's like, Warp Spiders and other things, or even other Dark Eldar models that needed it more.
Warp Spiders.
I know.
Oh man.
And I think they're really interesting right now, but I'm really reticent to go out and buy more because I only have one unit. When I'm like, they're not the best. I gotta hope they're gonna get new models at some point. Like, so yeah.
The Warp Spider model looks like they just made a mold for a tin press.
Yeah.
They just tin press
so flat. And this should be like the most dynamic model ever. They're like spiders that like jump through time and space, and you're just like, yep, nope. Like, I don't understand. The Howling Banshees, all of which are amazing for like all of time, they're all good. just keep getting redone over and over again into like different versions. None of them are any better. They're just different. You know, it's like Microsoft Word. It's like, oh, you changed the UI. It's like the same product. I don't
Well, it's
care.
because Dawn of War's dead, man. They can't keep the Dawn of War.
I know.
Howling Banshees.
That's my favorite one, actually. The like really slick, kind of sharp ones. They look great.
I think they look great too. Thanks again, Martin. If Custodes win today, will this give Bridger the confidence to play them against Deathwing Army on the channel? I feel like that day must come. Oof. Well, they lost today. They conceded.
They did concede. It's true.
So
that'd be a rough matchup, though.
We don't have to answer that question.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
That matchup was rough before, and I think it's really rough now.
Real rough now.
Like,
I think before the Dark Angel Codex,
mm-hmm.
Custodes were slightly advantaged.
Even with the index?
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Do
I think Custodes were slightly advantaged. I mean, Melta missiles were great.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you just... It's a game of trading your assets, and Custodes had more ways to control who charged. Like, if you're having a Terminator fight, and your Terminator's Deep Strike, and I Tanglefoot them, they don't get the charge. Like, that's just...
Yeah, it's true.
I'm going to roll a 3-up, and then you're not going to make your charge.
Yeah.
But now, I lose even if I win. Like, if I get the charge, I still lose the fight.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, I could do it. If I had 6 Aquilons in a brick, they would just kill you.
Yeah, that's true.
You would have like 2 Terminators left, maybe.
Interesting.
Which won't kill 6 Aquilons. And then I win.
Yeah.
And I just repeat this over and over again.
But now with the -1 damage and everything else on top of it.
Well, now they have secondaries. They just sit on objectives and win.
Yeah, exactly.
They can sit in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
With their whole army, except 1 unit's back here that I also can't kill.
Yep.
And their 1 unit back here scores them 15, 30 secondaries.
Exactly.
And I can't take their whole army at once in the middle of the board, so I just lose. It's not a game.
Yeah. No, and the only way you could deal with that too is by deep striking, because if you don't, you're gonna get mind wormed. You're gonna be fighting last, even on the charge. So you're doing even less than nothing. Which is also why I like infiltrators, because it shuts down like the answer that many armies have to Dark Angels. It's like, nope, you can't even do that. So that's rough. That's rough.
That's rough. Because now it's just we do the same thing, but you do it better.
Yeah, yeah. We get the Dark Angels get rewarded for doing the same thing. You know, I played a game last night. I was like, we rolled up the mission. It was like priority target. And I was like, all right, let's do this. You know, 50. That's 30 points right there between the two.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again, Martin. Obviously, it would make no sense to give Custodes Transhuman for free. Maybe everything should stay the same, but have 1 extra wound and a points increase. I think 1 extra wound does not... It's not... So, like, going 1 to 2 is a massive jump. Space Marines all getting 2 wounds.
Correct, yeah.
And Terminators all getting 3 wounds is a big jump. 3 to 4, most weapons in the game are 2 damage.
Yeah.
So it's actually no change for you, unless they're coming at your 4 wound models with 1 damage. In which case, they're doing it wrong.
Well, it could be a meta thing, right? But
and if you take
that's not really how you design books, I guess.
Your Terminator's up to 5 wounds. Wait? Like, why? What does that get?
Yeah.
Like, now you have a 5 wound. It's like a small vehicle walking
right? That's so true. Yeah, no, I agree. I think we're slowly actually, like, funny enough, it's been a meme for so long, but we're turning away from, like, permanent transhuman on the Custodes. I think there's other things they can do, honestly.
Yeah.
Would you take that or -1 damage?
Why do I have to pick this? Why is this?
You're already T5.
I've been memeing for so long that, like, these rules are dumb. Like, permanent transhuman is dumb, and -1 damage is dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's been a meme that Custodes should get it only because I think these rules are not good for the game.
Yeah.
That ubiquitous, like, super mega tankiness on not the known for being tanky factions is an issue. Yeah. What do you even now? Because now we're backed against the wall. What do you do with the tanky faction?
Right.
If the normal factions have -1 damage and permanent transhuman, what do you do with the tanky?
Well, but the Deathwing are sub faction that are about being tanky. So
you know, Space Marines.
But the Space Marines are super tanky already. Yeah.
And you give them a 5-up invuln.
Yeah.
So it's like ubiquitous invulns, permanent transhuman, and -1 damage can be given to just normal dudes.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do you play tanky dudes?
The Librarius discipline breaks so much of it. Because it's like, Space Marines, they have weakness, they don't have invulns, and they're like, oh, just kidding, everyone has an invuln, and also we'll take null zone in case we want to just take away yours instead, and it's like, it shores up so many weaknesses. It's pretty bananas, to be honest.
Bananas.
I'll be curious to see what they do with it, though.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do. They'll probably just make Custodes more lethal, because making them more tanky just doesn't work.
The they've kind of maxed out on what kinds of strats already. They already have amazing defensive strats, and I think that's in a great spot. I hope they don't lose any of that. But like adding more, it's like I don't know if that's the way to go either.
Well, no, because like it's you're already spending all your CP on your crazy good strats. Giving us more crazy good strats doesn't make us. It gives us more options, but it doesn't make us stronger.
They could make them points upgrades.
So you're saying like I could just pay points to ignore AP 1 and 2 for the whole game?
No, but it would.
Because that would be cool.
There's been the Cryptek Arcana especially have certain of those that you pay points for, and it's once per game ability, right? And I can't think of other ones that are single activation, but we do see this trend of transitioning from things that used to cost CP to things that cost points. Yeah. Some of those are like once per game or once per round sort of abilities. So I don't know, just as a way of like, because you are kind of maxed out on the CP right now.
Crazy idea. Okay, crazy idea. Yeah. Moment Shackle, because this fixes Trajan too. If the Moment Shackle just like undid an activation of damage, it's like, okay, I brought you down to one model. I hammered you. You're down to one model. And he's like, Moment Shackle, they're back.
They're all back.
They're all back.
That's horrible.
That was so cool.
That's so complicated. Like, how would you even begin to implement that rule?
You just undo the damage from one activation. Like my unit kills this unit. Moment Shackle, the unit's back. Well, but there has to be some models.
How do you replace them, and how do you...
Where they were. Don't remove them. Don't remove them. You allocate the wounds. You just don't remove the models.
So you would just take the wound pool
and make it go away.
But you have to, I guess. It's weird because you'd have to allocate them first, right? So you'd be like, the 1 and 2 damage and things like that sort of matter, so you have to like allocate them. And then you have to pretend that some models are dead and some are not.
Anytime you're fighting a unit near Trajan, you just wouldn't pull models, you would mark them as dead until I decide whether or not to use Moment Shackle.
Yeah.
It's obviously overly complex and it's a stupid rule and shouldn't be put in the game, but it was a cool idea.
No, we explored it. It's good. I like it.
We explored it. Yeah. We should playtest that. Workshop it.
That's right. James workshop it.
Thanks again, Martin. I know Bridger's desperate to play Custodes and keep them all to himself. Do we need to fear for Brian's safety? Apparently.
Yeah.
We don't know that I didn't just stuff him in a closet somewhere.
I love it because I assumed this was sent before we started.
No, this was after we started.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, Brian was like, I want to play Custodes. He specifically requested it this week too. So we're like, and we again had to make it clear to everyone. We're like, Brian is playing Custodes on Saturday. It's not Bridger. So yeah, and he'll be playing with his toys on next Thursday.
And then he says, Adrian, unlock him from the basement. It's California. We don't have basements.
That's right. And like I said, I had to break the curse. I had to ruin my losing streak. So
we colluded to.
We colluded.
Lock Brian in the closet.
It definitely counts for sure. Yeah. We vected him out of the game. He tried to come in the door. We're like, nope. 4 CP.
The lock closes.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Broken Chef. I remember hearing Call used all gene seeds. So Traitor Legion colored Primaris. Bridger gets to pick the Legion. I will start soon. Ooh. So this is like a Chaos themed army, but it's a Primaris normal Space Marine rules.
That's cool.
Alpha Legion is the coolest way to spin that, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because now you can play them as like Chaos, like True Scale Chaos, or as normal Space Marines, and it works both ways narratively.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I love Space Marine Alpha Legions, like Primaris, Alpha Legion looks so good.
And do them in the old colors with the nice shiny blue.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
For sure.
But it's
really cool.
It's real good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Really good.
I love it.
Thanks, Kaldorf. Hey guys, hope all is okay. Any update on schedule for Necromunda? Also looking forward to the AOS match. Adrian, any chance of seeing the Behemoths?
The Behemoths? For which? Sigmar?
AOS.
Just like in general, big monsters.
Behemoths? Is that a thing in?
Oh, the giants. Yeah. Sorry, I forget. They're that's the name.
The Mega Gargant.
Non-copyrightable. Yes. Again, I have them as a commission, and Bridger will probably be playing them.
I will play them.
That's right. So they're not going to be our next Sigmar game. They could be the one afterwards. Yeah. So that and Necromunda, we'll announce the dates soon, to be honest. But we haven't yet. So we're still kind of scheduling that out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Colin. For Bridger, why don't Venatari wear leg armor when their legs are the most exposed part of them as they are jump infantry? Because they need to be light, man. When you land, where are you going to get hit? Not the legs. Like, if I'm fighting you right now.
Yeah. But you're not flying.
I'm not going to, go for the legs.
Yeah.
Well, they fly between fights.
You're, landing on me, so I'm just like...
I'm landing on you, like head first.
Ah, it is head first.
Because
Okay.
they have lances, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta.
They have their bucklers. Their bucklers actually, they like just they go like this, and they like cannonball in.
They're shin guards.
Yeah, they're shin guards basically. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. Bert and I were just talking about this before the show. If you guys haven't seen the new Slash model, what's his name? The fabulous guy, right, with the horns. And so they didn't show this in any of the preview pictures, but now that it's out on the web store, you can check it out and rotate the model. And we were just talking about rear-facing armor on Thursday. He has like the golden like armor and it's all beautiful. But when you rotate him, you notice that the back of his thighs are just butt naked except for these leather straps that hold these golden plates in. I was like, this is like the best and worst thing that they could have added to this model. It's so
very Slanesh.
It's so Slanesh-y. He's just like, yes. Oh my God.
Welcome to battle.
I love it. It's so good. Oh, yeah.
They should make more sultry Slanesh characters.
I agree. Yeah.
Thanks, Dungeon Master. And I was so looking forward to the Emperor's janitors trying to chase those pesky fairies out of the basement. Oh well, have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you. You too. They'll be back on Thursday.
They will.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob. Against the lists today, how do you feel they would do against a Silent King list? I'm going against Custodes today, and I'm feeling confident this Custodes list would struggle a lot against virtually any Necron list.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Like, the Silent King can just fight last all of your threats.
Yeah, and that's how this army... So we're looking at the army on the side, guys, but it's got a few melta missiles, but and it has the Telemon, but largely its solution to removing things is melee. You got the fight last. It's going to have the blobs in front of it as well. This army doesn't have a way of clearing all those Necron warriors.
With the 5-up pinball.
Yeah, you'll never reach them.
You'll never reach them.
Yeah, exactly. The Eldari list is already down because it's an Eldari list. But I think it would depend on the mission, I would say this, because I think this Eldari list that I built is built all around just scoring, right? So it's got half, a bunch of fusions. It actually has 20 fusions in there, so that's quite nice. But then lots of transports, lots of scoring things. So again, in a mission where, surprise, surprise, today I was going to take scramblers, engage in all fronts. And then if you have something like priority targets, or if you at least have a mission where it's easy to drop in scramblers, my biggest fear in that matchup would be them just screening out, being like, oh, you can't score, you're not going to do anything, So that'd be the toughest thing. It has Dark Reapers and it has fusion, so it can kill some things. Yeah. I don't know that it definitely doesn't have enough to deal with all the warriors though. I just can't remove them.
It's tough.
I have a 20-man blob of guardians, but
that won't kill 20 warriors. It'll come close, and then they'll all come back.
What if I Doom and Jinx them? It could work.
That could work. Doom and Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do it.
Again, it's still an uphill battle, but that's how I would handle that matchup.
Yeah.
And good luck today or tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck. Today, I think. Today.
Cool. Good luck
today. Thanks, Brian. What's a fun unit for you guys that isn't necessarily good? Fun unit that isn't good.
Oh,
Telemon Dreadnought. Boom!
Ah, no.
Boom!
You monster! You monster! What's wrong with you?
Murdered by words.
I have a lot of these actually because I just like weird things. I love the Doomstalkers. They're so bad. You guys can check out our Tuesday game to see that. A lot of Orc stuff. A lot of Eldar stuff, to be honest. Yeah. Now I'm just sad. Most of the things that I like. I need new books, man.
I think a lot of books have things like this, just not Space Marine books. That's all. Like Custodes have plenty of goofy, fun things that aren't good.
Yeah. In the new books, though, can you name things that are goofy but not good? It's really hard to. Like,
Necromunda have some goofy but not good stuff.
Like what?
I mean, they have things that you can make good but aren't necessarily good out of the
like Possessed
box. Right.
Okay, that's fair.
Like you can work to make them good
because
it's a new book, so you can just work to make anything good.
Yeah.
But Necrons have plenty of stuff that's memey and not good.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Situationally, they're bad, I think. So what are you talking about? Like, we don't...
There's so many.
The destroyers are pretty bad.
The normal destroyers.
The locust destroyers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Because I was thinking about things like the Ophidians, we don't like as much as the like Scorpex and stuff, but they have their own role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flesh cherry robot men. They're
great. The flayed ones?
Flayed ones.
Yeah.
Are decent.
Yeah, I think
They're
they're great.
more fun than they are good. I would say that.
Yeah. Flayed ones are a great answer to other Necrons. Because they're one of the things that can actually chew through 20 warriors. So.
I think a great way to interpret this question is units that are more fun than they are good. Which describes a lot of the game.
More fun than they are good. Yeah. But when they
That's
don't
the whole orc book.
That's the whole orc book. Yeah, but when the shock attack gun is one of those rules for sure. Except a lot of time it's just
so
disappointing.
Fun. But the shock attack gun holds up the rule. It's really good, but it is even more fun.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Shock attack gun.
Nailed it. Thank you. Cult is Fulgrim, or if Fulgrim is the melee monster, what rules would Angron have? If all Primarchs returned, would Morty be the toughest of them all? Maybe Angron. There's too many Primarchs.
Mm-hmm.
The design space does not allow for all 18 Primarchs. That's the thing.
That's true.
They won't bring them all back.
That's true.
Because they will be very samey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they could make 18 different Primarchs.
No. With the main Chaos ones. Well, maybe. So just real quick. Like, real rapid fire. So Morty, toughest, yes? No?
Yeah, he should be the toughest.
Okay. Differentiate Fulgrim between Angron.
Between Morty and Angron.
Didn't they say Fulgrim?
I mean, Fulgrim's the melee monster. Separately, what rules would Angron have? Would Morty be the toughest? Maybe Angron is the toughest.
Oh yeah, I don't think Angron's the toughest. I think Fulgrim, again, is a duelist, so he's really good at fighting characters.
Yep.
And then Angron is just going to be an absolute beatstick that
gets better as he gets wounded.
Gets better as he gets wounded.
Angry.
Yeah, so he's supposed to take damage. He'll be decently tanky. Like he'll be tankier than Fulgrim, for example, in a different way. You have to like the way in which they're tough needs to be a bit different.
Yeah, I want him to like be very easy to wound for a Primarch.
Yeah.
But he has a bunch of wounds, so he'll like keep taking damage, and as he takes damage, he keeps getting stronger.
Yeah.
So he has like an unreasonably large wound pool.
Right.
But it's easy to take them off.
Yeah, exactly.
It just gets real mad.
I love it.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So it's a couple ideas, but yeah.
But like, there's too many. You couldn't do all of them. And how do you differentiate the Chaos ones from the loyal ones that are basically the same?
The loyalist ones to me are the toughest because that becomes much more samey and boring very quickly. Which that's why I'm like, well, when Rogal Dorn comes back, he should be like mega like suited up warrior kind of guy.
Just Mech Warrior Dorn?
Mech Warrior Dorn, yeah.
Like put him in a giant dreadnought. Like a dreadnought the size of a knight.
A giant suit, because Ferrus Manus would be in the dreadnought with his head floating in a jar.
The size of a knight, though. I want a dreadnought the size of a knight with a Primarch.
This is like what would like you've seen we've seen the Dread Knight, right?
Right.
And you've seen Redemptors. Well, what would happen if you had to fit a Primarch in there, right? It'd be a knight size.
Make it bigger.
Great. It'd be so cool.
That'd be cool.
Oh man.
How's chat doing? You guys doing all right?
It seemed fine. Yeah, just want to reiterate, guys, everything's good. We just had a last-minute thing come up, so Brian wasn't able to make it. So everything's good. We'll be back to our regular programming on Tuesday, and this game's going to be played on Thursday. Really appreciate all the support. And so we're just doing Q&A. We're not going to be playing a game today. We're just answering questions, just hanging out on this lovely Saturday.
It's my favorite game. Q&A.
I know, this is easy for you, right?
Yeah. Thank you, James. James Raynor. Hey.
Oh,
nice.
Wow. The legend himself.
Hey, guys. Hope all is okay. Enjoying the impromptu hobby hangout. Question, especially for Bridger, what is your favorite Custodes character? It's not... I don't know. In all the books, they all suck. Like, they're either godmen that are bland and boring.
Right.
Like, I don't think they've written Custodes well.
Mm.
They're either boring, like calculating, never makes a mistake, always does the correct thing, never makes a sacrifice because they don't have to, or it's like the valiant sacrifice that it's their only option, or they suck, or they just die. Like when a world eater punches, a naked world eater with no weapons punches through a fully suited and armed custodian. You just lose faith in the writing.
Right. That's fair.
So my answer would be none of them. They're all written poorly. I think Malcador.
Malcador?
Represents what Custodes should be.
Oh, interesting.
The guy, the wise person who always knows the answer and always does the right thing, but then make him ripped. That's Custodes.
Is Malcador ripped?
No, I'm saying make him ripped.
Okay. Yeah,
that's a Custodes.
That's true. That's
like
true.
if Malcador got jacked, he would be the ultimate Custodes.
I like that. Yeah. It's funny because I think one of my favorite Custodes interactions is because they're serious and stoic, right? And it's in Master of Mankind, where it's the super serious Custodes and then like the jolly like blood angels that like he has like bionic arm that's actually busted, and they're such a they're so good because they're each other's foils. Yeah. And it's because the Custodes character would be really boring by himself, but he's so good next to the other guy and the conversations they have So that's not really about the custodies, but
it is why they're written that way. They're written in the
Yeah.
Horse Heresy to be a foil to Space Marines, because it's a book about Space Marines.
exactly, yeah.
And then the books about custodies, they don't know how to write because they were a foil to Space Marines all the time.
Yeah.
So you take away the Space Marines, and now you just have a bad character.
Oh man, I keep getting stuck in the beginning of the book with it has Alpha Legion in theory. I've not gone that far.
Okay.
And it's got Imperial Fists and Custodies at the wall.
Mhm.
And the first chapter is just like them at the wall, and it's just so boring. It's
So
like
boring.
another day, sleeping on stone, woke up at the dawn, break of dawn, just looking at them. I was just like, this is so boring. What the? And I've tried to start this book like 4 times. I swear. Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. What would you do for witches to get them back into the game more? That's a tough one.
Yeah. I don't have a specific solution, but I know the types of things I want them to do, right? I want them to either be do way more damage, just make them like Repentia levels of just like tearing things up, or make them durable enough that they can actually survive to use their nets, right? Because the nets are really interesting, but they're just so fragile, they just die. So I'd go one or the other personally. I think either of those would be interesting. Yeah.
Here's a weird idea.
Okay.
Permanent debuffs. I know the game doesn't do it a lot, but if they were a throwaway unit that you could like tag somebody in combat and now they're debuffed forever.
That'd be cool.
And they're not lethal, they don't survive, but they do bad touch you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be interesting.
That. Yeah.
They tend not to do permanent debuffs in Warhammer
Mm-hmm.
because it requires tokens and it's not a game of tokens.
Right.
Um,
What about this? What about you make them like Stasis Shell. So Stasis Shell is the Dark Angel strat for grenade launcher, where you hit a unit, they can't fall back. Now the Stasis Shell unit has nothing to do with that. So you could have witches go in, do the net, and then that unit can't fall back. So you could have something else, a Venom, you could have Incubi coming in, even if all the witches die, they've already been netted, and now they can't fall back.
That'd be
so, something like that maybe.
I like it.
Which is kind of similar vein as what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Because it's tough because if you make them durable and fighty, they're just troops.
They're Harlequins, yeah.
They're Harlequins.
Exactly.
If you make them fighty and not durable, they're Screaming Banshees.
Yep.
Or what Screaming Banshees should be.
Better. But yeah.
And if you make them durable and not fighty, they're Racks. So like, what are they? What's their design space?
Yeah.
I think they have to be not durable, not fighty, but do something cool in combat.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Which, witches are about tricks.
Yeah,
They can do
exactly.
Thank you, John. What about fire support? Debating between Havocs, Blitz, and War Dogs. List is currently roughly 1 Rampager, 20 Berserkers, 40 Cultists, 2 Discordants.
So you have a few different types of firepower there. I don't love Havocs unless you have a single unit that's Alpha Legion, so you can make them untargetable, or Iron Warriors for similar kind of reasons.
Now, what gun do you put on them? Because this has like no shooting.
Yeah.
So the Havocs would be doing all of your shooting. What gun would you even take? That's tough.
So yeah, that gets to the other problem with Havocs, right? Is they are fragile, and so I actually really like Heavy Bolter Havocs right now because they're cheap. The chain cannon is too expensive and you have to get too close. Yep. The Heavy Bolter is interesting if you need like middle range everything, middle damage, middle number of shots. Otherwise I go missile launchers.
Would you take las cannons?
I was about to say the las cannons, but then I remembered that missile launchers are just more flexible. Yeah. Because again, this list has no shooting. If you go missile launchers, you can do either profile.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So kind of lean
frag missiles with blast.
Yeah.
Could be useful.
Yeah, exactly.
I dig it.
Would you pick the Havocs over Obliterators?
No, I would take Obliterators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Obliterators are the one-size-fits-all shooting platform.
Yeah.
Like, they will kill elites, they'll kill... Begrudgingly, they'll kill troops.
Totally.
They'll kill tanks, they'll kill anything.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, you roll their stats and then you pick the target. So you're like, cool, I got 1 damage. Well, I guess we're killing Chaff this turn. Right. So, yeah, give it a try.
Thanks again, Super Reedy. Now you're working on the channel full-time. Take us through a day in the life of Adrian.
Oh.
Do you do a full day? Do you take sneakily long lunches? And how harsh a taskmaster is your boss, really?
That's right. So the cool thing is, I kind of get to be the boss now. Like, I'm basically in charge of the studio space, and I schedule people out. So I tell Brian, I tell the talent when he needs to come in to, like, do a shoot day and stuff like that. So that's nice.
But you have his single stuffed Oreos ready?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I specifically requested single stuffed Oreo. Yeah, I actually, funny enough, I was thinking about doing a video for our members that goes through the day. So a day in the life. The way it largely works is beginning of the week, I do a massive shoot day, right? We have all the lists set up. I come in with my shot list. I film all the intros for everything at once. I do a bunch of setups, figure out the war zone, do all that. And that's kind of prep for the rest of the week. And then the rest of the week becomes about writing scripts for upcoming videos that we have, editing for videos that are in the works, some kind of prepping armies and things like that, which is nice. We can kind of get more stuff out here. And then, I mean, that's a lot of the time, to be honest. And then, we're doing like taking images of the thumbnails and just more editing. It's a lot of editing.
A lot of editing,
to be honest. It's like, again, like I said, I'll do a bunch of prep. I'll like schedule a shoot day with Brian. He'll come in. We'll shoot for like a couple hours, and then I go back and do the rest of the 20 hours you need to do for editing something, right?
When you do your YouTube video that is day in the life of a professional Warhammer player, it has to have all the unrealistic nonsense. Like your 24-hour day needs like 8 hours of painting in it. 6 hours of video editing. There's like 5 meals in there. You work out twice.
Naturally.
Like it has to be one of those classic YouTube videos.
Yeah. This is what it's like. Yeah, not the like, oh God, I have to go film every unit for 6 armies, which is backbreaking. I've had to like figure out how to like do it comfortably. So I'm not like, ugh. Another thing is like, we use the smoke machine. So I'm like, I've done research on the smoke, and like generally it won't kill you, but like I don't trust it. So I'm like wearing my like mask in here, and then like Brian will come in, and it's just like smoke comes out. I'm like, what's going on, Brian? Just working on some turntables. He's like, are you okay? So it's fun. Yeah.
That'll be a good video.
It would be good. I do want to do it, so that'll come out. Members only. That's going to be something in the future.
Thanks, John. Just started playing 40K, doing an escalation league, and trying to plan my 2,000 point high end. I'm going World Eaters and Allied Rampager because ABC.
Yeah.
And then it's continued somewhere.
That's super, super cool.
Where is it continued? I don't see any.
The bot break.
Way? No. I just don't. All right, John. Well, if this is continued somewhere, I'll get to it eventually, maybe. Oh, we already did the first part. This was. The bot reverses. Okay.
Yeah.
So the bot reverses the order of a batch.
That's right.
Which is something I could easily fix, but don't.
That's a very Bridger thing.
I have never fixed it, and I've known all along. Because they're 1-minute batches. How many? You're gonna.
That's hilarious.
Doesn't matter.
That's amazing. So this was the adding shooting to a World Eater army.
Yeah.
And so it's World Eaters with Knight Rampager.
Yeah. 1 Rampager, 20 Berserkers, 40 Cultists, 2 Discordants. That's actually a pretty cool World Eater list. Cool. Now that we have the context that it's a World Eater list, that's like the kind of stuff I would do.
It's really cool, and I actually kind of rescind everything about the obliterators.
Right.
You can't take obliterators without making them Slanesh and without giving them psychic support. So to me, they're kind of out. I kind of go like not to totally rotate. Havocs, or the other thing was the War Dog with the Helverins,
which could make the Rampager a full detachment.
Yeah. So
you're not paying a bajillion CP for nothing.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So getting the full context, I'd go with that.
Now, War Dogs, what would you put on them?
Double Helverin and...
So you would go the Dakabot,
because he needs shooting in this list, right? And they're long range. They're nasty. They're great shooting. Like we don't have the guns, so we haven't run them on the channel, but they're great. Yeah.
The autocannon. I've always loved the Helverin. The autocannon is like a one-size-fits-all gun.
Yeah.
Strength 7. It's only AP 1, which is now really bad. Actually, now that I think about it, I've said it out loud. In 9th edition, AP 1 is the worst AP. It is worse than AP 0.
That's true. Well, yeah.
Because you're paying points for something that most people are going to ignore.
Well, Salamanders, Sisters, Custodies on Terminators.
Anything with a Storm Shield and cover.
True. Right, yeah, so they're not ignoring it, they just don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're paying points to get 0 value.
But conversely, would you take Havocs in a World Eater army?
No, I'm with it. War Dogs, Helverins, do it.
It's just the only bad thing about it. Yeah.
If they have something with a Storm Shield and cover, you kill it with Berserkers.
Yeah, which is a good way to do it already. I don't think there's a way to get a house that ignores cover. There's a...
Is there a strat?
There might be a strat or a relic, but you wouldn't really put that on a War Dog. So, but yeah, so that's the one weakness. But I do think that's the best option now.
Indeed. Thank you, Miko. Hey, Titans. Was looking forward to this game. Hope Brian is okay. He's fine. Quick question. Would playing a 1,000 point game on the regular 2,000 point board make it feel more balanced? Ooh. That would solve a lot of the problems we have with 1,000 points.
Yeah, we talked about this. This is something we, in theory, want to try. Ooh. I don't know when we would.
That's spicy.
Yeah. It's much more interesting, personally.
Because the problem, so let's talk about the problems we saw with 1,000 points.
Let's do it.
Was it's a small board where you can have concentrated threats that are in range of multiple objectives, and it's a trading game because you have to hold the middle objectives. The whole game is played over the middle objectives. The secondaries are impossible to score in 1,000 points.
Yeah, they don't scale either.
So it's only a primary game where you can just have like a 10-man Terminator blob that can't be killed, or a Mortarion that can't be killed, and just dominates the midboard, and the game is pointless.
Yeah.
Or you have like throwing bricks at each other, like shooting missiles. Like you could play Blood Angels against anything, and you're just like, cool, turn 1, you die.
No, we did that. That was the only 1,000-point game we did, remember? And it was, so Brian was Blood Angels. I don't want to spoil it, but I was Orcs, and I had transports. He had Blood Angels. So he was just like, transports, kill the stuff. And I was like, And so, but yeah, to that fact, it was still like, hammer.
Well, that was
done.
That was pre-Codex Blood Angels. Blood Angels now would Forlorn Fury in with Death Company. You kill anything that's not on a transport, wrap a transport, the game's over. You can't get out.
I'll get out, dude. The Desperate Breakout. 6 inches? I don't know.
That's only when it dies. The disembark? Or you would break out the transport.
Oh, you're saying just wrap it and not kill it
just
at
wrap
all?
it. Don't kill it. Just wrap the transport.
Funny. That's funny.
And now what do you do? Like, as the Orc player, a bunch of boys in trucks, your trucks have been touched and wrapped.
Yeah.
Or, like, you don't even need a full wrap. You can just, like, horseshoe around your 2 transports.
Right,
so you can go backwards.
Yeah.
You don't want to go backwards.
That's funny. But backwards is fine. I think it's fine because of the board is so small. You'd be like, okay, I'm going to get out the back, and then I'm still on the point. I don't know. Yeah, Blood Angels are really good. The hammers are really good. It's a weird, wacky game. I do agree. I think the big board would solve a lot of those problems because you're having to maneuver. You can't instantly charge into people. Secondaries would be more scoreable because right now, like you said, it's impossible. It's like, hey, you want to do scramblers? Well, you got to drop more than 9 away from enemies, and that's literally impossible. So that'd be cool.
The deployment zones are tiny.
Yeah, it's like
you're trying to scramble and this part of the board.
I really hope when they do the next revamp or whatever, that they modify the secondaries 4,000 points. That was a big miss. I don't know how they did that, but they just you just port them over, and it's like,
well, they wrote the game for 2,000 points, and it shows.
Yeah.
That I think 1,000 points and 500 points did not get the love that they deserved.
Right.
If you're gonna make them full game modes, and advertise it as we have a mission pack where 2/3 of the missions.
That was the thing, right? Yeah, because it was the first time they were actually supporting these other points values with different board sizes, which makes sense, abstractly, and then they just didn't follow through enough. So it's just kind of a little bit busted. So yeah, it's weird.
It's an iterative process. They'll get there.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again, Martin. So one advantage of there being no game is that we can spend extra time focusing in on the competitive gaps in the Custodes rules. Win some, lose some.
I mean, hey, well, as long as there's questions, we'll be here.
The Q&A, you guys have been impressive in number of super chats when there's no game.
That's good.
We're doing a stand-up show now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we do puns and talk about Custodes here. That's what we do. Hope you like it.
I don't have anything to add about Custodes. Unprompted.
I still think they're in a great place.
They're fine, yeah. They're in a decent
spot. Yeah.
They can win events. I think the 2 most recent codexes make it really, really hard for them to win events, but they still can do it if they get a good path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Thanks, William. How do White Scars kill Mortarion? Death Guard in general just seem like a hard counter to White Scars.
Yeah, it's really rough.
The game's moving in that direction. It's moving in the competitively at least, my army just beats yours and you can't win. It's turning into rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate. I was thinking about this again because I played a game yesterday, and it was for the first time in a long time where it was what would I It wasn't just how do I make the game interesting between us, which I was still trying to do, but it was also if I made a Death Guard list, what would it be like to fight all comers? And it's actually quite difficult now, right?
It's hard.
Or the same for any army, right? So, White Scars into Death Guard, yeah. You use your mobility, right? This is what you do. You play. So first of all, Death Guard already are really tough for Space Marines in the sense that Space Marines up until now have been able to be yep, oath the moment, gonna go in the middle, do my stuff, and Death Guard are this is exactly what we want, right? So I think Space Marine players in general need to adapt to be able to play more maneuverable units, kite the Death Guard player. Again, things like Oath of the Moment won't be as tasty. You can potentially, depending on the map, right? If on this mission right here, If we were going this way, there's just this open space in the middle. There's no objectives there. That's perfect for like one attack bike jumping in. Oh, at the moment, good, you're done. But it's not going to be like hold the middle with your whole army anymore. You can't do that. And so White Scars, I think, are positioned well in the same way, where they are very mobile. They can move fast. They can do the double move with psychic power. So I think you have to try to play in that way. Are you going to score less points? Probably, yeah. But that's what I would try, because I just don't think you can go take in the head on anymore.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go on this U.
Yeah.
Your answer to Death Guard is like one attack bike, one attack bike, one attack bike, Outrider squad. Like you have a bunch of small stuff. Morty can't be everywhere.
Exactly.
And that's how you're going to beat him.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks Chronix. On the theme of Primarch versus Primarch, Bridger in a Custody suit versus Adrian in Terminator armor versus Brian in an XV-17. Well, we would just gang up on Brian.
That's right, yeah.
We're Imperial
naturally.
And he's a fishman.
Yeah. For sure.
And then we go out back and we drink some powdered human.
Some powdered human, that's right. The problem is Brian shoots us at range. We'll be like, yes, we shall be aligned. And then we'll both like die together.
We're both Terminators.
Him at 100 yards.
That's how I have no AP.
That's true.
We'll just chill.
We'll just walk. Yeah, we won't even go for it. We'll just wait. I like it. I like it.
We'll run out of bullets.
Yeah, for sure. There you go.
Thanks, Code of Zero. Get up the great work.
Thank you.
Get up the great work. And could we see 30K on the channel? And what legions would each of you play first? If we play 30K.
Yeah.
Who would you play?
Well, I already have a 30K Imperial Fist Army.
Is that, if you could pick anything though, is that what you pick? Because you already have that, but that's a convenience thing. If you could pick anything.
Okay, so I've always been torn. I legitimately like playing them in 30K because they actually get to play their style, right? And I love the Sword Brethren with oh my gosh, Sigismund. They are amazing because let me just give you a little preview. Let me. I haven't played the most recent update to the game, but the thing is, like the game is based off of 7th edition Warhammer,
right?
Where we had this thing called initiative. And initiative is you have an initiative value, and that determines the order that you fight in.
Right.
So all Space Marines effectively are initiative 4, which means everyone's pretty much fighting at the same time. So we're alternating. But Sigismund gives +1 initiative. So you come in with your Sword Brethren that all have power swords. They fight first. They're amazing. So you just like win every fight flat out, right?
That's cool. Even if they charge you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah,
now I know they made some modifications of the game, but I think initiative is still in there, so that's cool. And they have like the +1 toughness if you're like standing next to each other in formation, and all these like really like fisty things, right? So I love that.
That's dope.
I would still be tempted to play Alpha Legion because they have wacky. Like you think they're wacky in 40K. In 30K, it is just completely nuts. Like you can hide Alfarius in like a regular unit, move guys around. Yes. It's so cool.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would want to play Thousand Suns.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because Psychic in 7th was way cooler.
It's
Psychic
busted.
was way cooler. No, I wouldn't even want to do the busted stuff.
Magnus
I would roll
busted.
for all my spells. I would roll on tables because I love rolling on tables.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, "Ooh, what's this spell do? That's cool. I can move terrain. That's cool."
No.
It's so cool.
Oh my god. That was dark times, man.
No, that was awesome.
As a Chaos player, the number of like Psychers you'd have to take to sort of hedge your bets to hope that you're going to get endurance and invisibility at the same time. And like, I roll terribly. So every time I'd be like, nope, cool. And then look at my opponent and I'm like, so you got all the good powers, huh? They're like, yep. And I was like, all right. Good times.
All right, thanks, Manxie. Hey, I have a DW. Again, this could be Deathwing or Death Watch. Always tough. Army, and I'm looking for advice against my friends, the other DW army. Come on, man.
Nice. Well played.
Are my Terminators better than my OBSEC bikes? OBSEC bikes, so he's Deathwing. He's playing against Death Watch.
Okay. Unless he also has Ravenwing, which would be OBSEC bikes. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He is Deathwing. Oh, God. We're getting trolled. This question has to be a troll.
Amazing.
This has to be
I think DW stands for Arthur's sister from the hit TV show for children.
So are her Terminators better than her OBSEC bikes?
Gosh. Okay, well, let's just ignore the question entirely and just talk about the matchup between Deathwing and Death Watch. Let's do that.
Assuming the Heavy Intercessor kit is out.
Yeah.
Because you can't play Death Watch without it. You can, but like you can't.
It's rough. We think that's the best way to play it. It's funny because I think I still put it in favor of the Deathwing because they have like you both have prevalent obsec, but yours are just tougher, right? One of the cool things about the Outriders is like you can run out and grab points that are not held by obsec, but depending on how your list is built, your Deathwing army can be almost entirely obsec. And so I guess the one advantage that they have, the Death Watch bikers have, is again, comes down to positioning, and it's easier for you to get more models on a point, right? A Deathwing army is quite elite. Even if you are using command squads, you're still pretty elite, and those are not obsec, right? And so
this mission would be really tough for Deathwing because the battlefield is split in two.
Yeah.
And Deathwatch would like commit to the side that Deathwing are on, and then shoot bikes across to hold more.
Totally.
And now it's like, well, how does Deathwing recover? They're not mobile.
That's true. I also think So in the era of Dark Angels and Deathwing, you, as Death Watch, you have access to a ton of rerolls to wound.
And Eradicators.
And Eradicators, yeah. And this is how you get through Transhuman, right? You reroll everything.
And plus 2 damage.
Yeah.
I could honestly get through -1 damage.
I honestly, if I was running Death Watch right now, I might take my Indomitor kill teams with a specialization into elites. And then you show up at the table, you're like, cool, my whole army's going to specialize to that. So now we roll all wound against elites because you know Deathwing are out there. You know Death Shroud are out there.
Yeah, Terminators are so prevalent. Custodes.
Yeah, yeah. This is an advantage that Death Watch have in a meta where a particular type of thing is really powerful, right? So we kind of just said points to both army, which is probably a good sign, but...
I think it's I would give a weird advantage to Death Watch. I know Deathwing are like the kings right now.
Yeah.
But if Death Watch like geared up to take Deathwing, they would.
Right. Yeah, which is tough in your personal games, right? It's like, do you think it's okay for that person to tech up? I think in this meta, it would be acceptable to assume that they have. So I would then give it to Death Watch as well.
I think it would be really hard to play Death Watch like as a personal army. Yeah. Because like you are setting the bar for every game on how hard you're going to tailor. Because you are the army of tailoring.
I know, right? Yeah. Just roll for it every time.
Awful.
It's horrible. That would be so stressful to play like friendly.
Thanks, Miko. All right, guys. Help me get my wife into 40k or AOS.
Okay.
She asked me what models are pretty. I tried Sisters of Battle, but she said she doesn't like the religious vibe. She also asked me what models are pretty. I thought maybe some elves or the new Warhammer Quest game with vampires and junk. Definitely AOS, right?
I think definitely AOS. So Nell doesn't like most of the 40k armies. Not even like Eldar and stuff like that. It's just like not her style. Whereas Sigmar, it's like there's several armies that she likes because there's more diversity there and there's different kinds of things. Does she even like humanoid stuff, right? Like you can be like Sylvaneth with like weird trees, or you can be like Deepkin. Yeah, and again, that's kind of Mel's playing Deepkin now because they have like weird other things. Like she doesn't even want to put the riders on the eels. She just wants the eels because that's something different, and you don't see that in 40k at all. So definitely a Sigmar army, and just show her the big models, just like dinosaurs, you know? Like
there's so many flavorful options in Sigmar, and it's dealer's choice. It's like you pick what you like. You're like, oh, I gravitate. You look at all the Sigmar armies, you're gonna gravitate towards one. You're gonna pick a thing and be like, oh man, fox people riding goats that shoot bows, the new elf thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like
that's cool.
I want to see this army.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah.
Take a look.
It's in the book. Yeah, I agree. And look at the centerpieces, you know?
Yeah.
They're just, they're so good. Every single time a Sigmar army is released, I'm like, God, I don't even play that army, but now I want to play that army, you know? Squigs.
I would be careful. Look at the troops as well. Don't just show her the centerpiece. Show her centerpieces. She'll pick one.
Yeah.
And then show her the troops, because if you don't like the troops, you're going to have a bad time.
That's true. But at least with Sigmar, you can be flexible as what becomes troops.
That's true.
Like, again, I love squigs, so I'm able to build an army that's entirely squigs because you can change what's battle line depending on your general, which is awesome, right? So give that a try.
That is cool. Where was I? That was a Miko question.
That was Miko, yeah.
I'm looking at a different Miko question. Hold on. I find it. I found it. We're there. Got it. Thanks, Milan. Yeah, I'm going to go with Milan.
You got it. You good.
Hey, Titans. I need help in making a competitive CSM list. I have a Sorcerer, Master of Possession, Dark Apostle, Abaddon, 2 Terminators, 2 squads?
I assume so.
2 squads of Terminators, I'm going to assume. Corn Berserker and Obliterators, Cultist Troops. What should I change or add?
I like that a lot, actually. So I'm a big fan of Corn Berserkers in Rhinos. Get them up, get them threatening. You could, of course, do the Termite if you're willing to do Forward World, but you know, that's expensive.
There's no Demon Engines. And the whole Demon Engine package with the guy riding the
Lord Discordant?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they don't have that, do they?
No, that's none of that's in here.
The thing is, it is in there?
It's none of that. None of that's in here.
But you run out of HQ slots. That's the problem with Chaos. So they've got Abaddon, they have the Sorcerer, and the Malefic Lord.
And a Master Possession.
Master Possession? Yeah, like you're pretty much maxed out already.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I don't think the Demon Engines are competitive.
That's a good point.
If I'm honest. We like them, but they're not the best. You need some more bodies, and I honestly like Raptors for scoring. All of my Raptors are built as Warp Talons, but yeah, you just jump out, you're scoring, you're scrambling, you're engaging, and you're not costing yourself much. And
they can take Lightning Claws, right?
No, that's Warp Talons. That's my problem. I have 30 Warp Talons, and none of them are built as Raptors currently. And Warp Talons are still really expensive. Yeah. Raptors are only 17 points. It's a lot, but with Chaos you can combo up. You can combo up and make them interesting. Not with Black Legion, but I know.
Why is Chaos so expensive?
I don't know why they got screwed so much. But yeah, that's what I would build towards, a bit of that scoring power, because honestly, I think it's a great list, and you nailed a lot of the things I would say. Only other thing is I would consider, this is an HQ I would bring another detachment of patrol just to include, is Demon Prince. Gives you rerolls. They're really good. They've got Death to the False Emperor. I'm told you should, if you're going Slaanesh, you should take the Elixir with the double claws.
That might be different now.
Well, it's better than the Demon Weapon. I just like the Demon Weapons.
Does the Death Guard Codex set the precedent for what Claws and Sword do, or no?
No.
I don't know how Chaos works, man.
So they're unaffected. So like Grey Knights have the old Space Marine rules, the old leadership, old everything. Chaos, everyone except for Death Guard has the old rules. Okay. So they have Death
So you do
False
want
Emperor.
the Elixir with the Claws then? That sounds right.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Cool. All right, we did it. Thank you, Cody. Vallejo opportunity. We got to hit our quota for today. Ooh. You haven't mentioned Vallejo yet.
That's true.
So our non-existent sponsorship, it's on the line, Adrian. I have trouble finding the right mix of water and paint. What's the glaze medium about? Any suggestions on getting a consistent viscosity when going for 2 thin coats?
2 thin coats. Good question.
I don't even. What's this glaze thing he's talking about?
So there's different types of washes. There's I'm still gonna get the terminology wrong, but technically there's washes and there's glazes, right?
Like a donut.
That's exactly right. So traditional washes like Agrax and Druchii Violet and blah 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 and Gnome Laurel, they generally will go in the crevices of the model, right? And they obviously coat everything, but they generally will kind of sink into the crevices. A glaze actually sits on top of it, and it has a different effect theoretically. And so it gives you a different look. It's less if you want to get the crevices. It's more like if you wanted to kind of coat something, give it a slight sheen over it.
Perhaps a donut.
Perhaps a donut. Yes, you could just do this with a donut as well. So that's generally speaking the theory behind a glaze. I'm not the most familiar because I don't use glazes very often, to be honest. I've tried them a few times and didn't feel like I wasn't getting much out of them because I wasn't familiar, so I have to practice with them more. As far as thinning your paints down, one thing I'd recommend is naturally, of course, you put them on a paint palette and you get pool water, you get the paint, and you're just going to start mixing them. And don't be afraid to like go back and forth and add more as you need to. The tough thing is try to do enough so that you have enough paint to like do a batch, basically, because the problem is. Especially like the more you start to like thin them and mix them, you actually end up losing a lot of paint. So by the time it happened, as I was kind of getting used to this, I'm like, cool, it's like the perfect mixture, and I have like barely paint to do anything with, and I have to do the whole process again, right? So I think that's important. I'm assuming this is all for brush, right? We didn't no mention of airbrush.
No mention of airbrush, but how would you do it?
With airbrush, the one thing I would say is actually I found that I will actually thin it less than is suggested. I've always heard the consistency of milk, right? And I tend to do it just a little bit less than
that. Now, is that skim milk, 2%?
For me, it's like whole milk, like straight out of the cow.
Wow.
Yeah, like thick.
Unpasteurized.
Yeah. Because I'll do like
in it,
out of a Vallejo. Yeah, well, I like my chunky paint. I have to constantly be thinning my cleaning my airbrush, but it's worth it, you know? Get the nice splatter look. It's good. It's like a... Yeah, anyways. So I will do like a couple drops, and then literally I will just take my brush, put it in a cup of water, and even wipe it off a bit, and then just mix it there, right? And that's it. That's it. And again, this is Vallejo. It's different for different paints. Like the Games Workshop need more thinning, but hopefully that helps. That was a lot of answers to
to a lot of questions.
Hopefully the right question.
Hopefully Vallejo is listening.
That's right. Vallejo.
All right. Thank you, Casey. What is your go-to 30K army? Will we ever get to see some on the channel?
Well, to be honest, you guys asking about that is helpful because it's we always have our ear to the ground. We want to know what people are interested in. Did you hear that?
My ear wasn't to the ground there.
That's
the
true.
air.
That's
my mistake.
You messed up. Yeah. Fist and Alpha Legion, honestly.
I've never played 30K. I want to play 30K.
Yeah.
And I know
it's a great game.
Of surrounding facts of 30K. And I've looked at the books and they're weird. There's a lot going on there.
I feel like we can't play it because then you might ask for your Mechanicum army back.
Ooh.
You had
I actually would like Mechanicum.
Yeah. They're so cool.
They're so cool.
Oh my gosh. That's right.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
I have a Thanatar somewhere. Was that in the box?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this was, so Bridger handed them over because we have our Dark Mechanicum army coming up at some point. And so hopefully that gets done before we start playing Horus Heresy. Or vice versa. Hopefully we decide one way or another.
We'll just, if we start playing Horus Heresy, Brian will just buy a Mechanicum army. I guarantee
That's
it.
True.
He
That's
will
true.
just get one.
Yeah.
Because all of us love Mechanicum.
Yeah. That's true.
It'll happen.
So
he will also get Solar Auxilia because he's talked about it before that he wants to get Solar Auxilia.
Yeah.
It's like the most expensive army in any game in the universe.
God.
Like every guardsman's $10.
Yeah. Fancy Forge World Guardsmen. They do look super, super cool, I'll be honest. I actually really like the thralls with the Laszlocks for Mechanicum.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of them that I use as like regular thralls and like conversions. I just have the body and I swap them out for like actual 40K weapons because they just look so cool. Like you need more of that, like actual like servitor kind of guys that aren't just like the unit of 4 lobotomized guys. That's really lame. So anyways.
Make servitors better in 40K.
Yeah, make them a thing. I think it'd be cool.
All right, thanks. Winlock, keep up the good work. I'm building a Dark Angel Deathwing army built on 35 Terminators, but some rules look unclear. Can I teleport all of my army in the first round? No. Correct,
you cannot. It's in a weird spot in the core book. You can, but in the Grand Tournament pack, which we recommend you play by, it disallows any deep striking turn 1. So I know it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
that's why.
It's strategic restraint or something. Strategic. There's a funny name for it.
Yeah, it's restraint.
And drop pods are the only thing that ignore that rule.
Yeah, and it's on the data sheet. That's where it says it there. So
you need at least half your units on the table.
Mm-hmm.
You also need at least half your points on the table.
And power?
Both of those.
No,
I don't think
points
the GT pack does anything with power, does it?
No, you're right.
It might.
It's just points and number of units.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, feel free. If you have any questions, let us know. That is the balance with that army is how much do you deep strike, how much do you keep on the board. More and more. I think we just walk them on the board.
Yeah.
There's no delivery. Well, so it's funny enough because we lost the ability to deliver black, I always get this wrong, Deathwing Knights. Deathwing Knights.
With a Black Knight.
With a Black Knight, that's true. They lost that strat, but you do get the litanies, so you can get a +2 charge, and there's a warlord trait for +1. So they're actually
Those don't stack.
What's that?
Those don't stack. The litany can't stack with anything.
No.
The litany specifically cannot stack with anything.
Are you
get
sure about that?
+2 to charge.
I thought it was the chapter tactic that says it can't stack for Blood Angels.
No, the litany. I know because this litany existed when I played Raven Guard.
Yeah.
And I was not. You can't stack with it. The litany you can't stack. You can stack other stuff.
Really?
You can't get a +3 unless there's some weird combination of other things that doesn't involve litany.
Fair enough.
But you can get +2, which is good. You have a 7-inch charge.
That's cool.
Which is like most charges that you attempt in the game and fail. But
yeah, no.
It's a 50-50 with a reroll, 75% chance to make a charge.
So yeah, never mind. Don't deep strike.
Don't deep strike. Walk. Take a
board's so small it's easy to get
deep strike like 1 or 2 units.
Maybe.
That you plan to use as like a deep strike threat.
Command squad.
Yeah.
Small bubble.
Ooh, command squad. Saucy. But thanks, Cody. Are there any parallels between building a deck in Magic and building a list in 40K? Some sort of curve guidelines? No, not curve. Like, there are no resources that you're expending to do your things in 40K. I mean, there are within the game, but not in... Okay, so the reason there's a curve in Magic...
Yeah, start there.
...is you're going to build up your resources over the game, and you want to consistently hit your power curve, right? You want to hit your spikes. You're like, I know I'm going to have 1 mana for a very short amount of time. I don't need a lot of ones. I know I'm going to have 2 mana for more time. 3, 4, 5. oh, I'm probably not going to have 6 mana for very long because I've either won the game
Yeah.
or I was sitting waiting to draw lands, right? So there's like this probabilistic curve of how many lands you will have on the battlefield or how much resources you have. You want to match that because you want to be using all your resources.
Exactly.
In 40K, list building, you have points to spend, but you could spend them all on one thing. Like you can spend them all at once, as it would be in Magic, but it's not. I don't think they're comparable ideas. But within the game, there are comparable ideas of like controlling the tempo. Tempo is really big in both games, and that is a comparison I would draw. And if you are a Magic player and you like playing tempo, then you should probably play something like Harlequins, who are great at controlling tempo. But there's not a whole lot of parallels to draw between Magic and 40K.
Yeah, that's
very different games.
Yeah, that's well said. It's too multi-dimensional when building a list, right? It's like you said, you can do comparisons with control, aggro, things like that. But even within just like not looking at Magic, just in individual list building, there's so many different metrics you can use to build a list, right? How much are you building towards board control? How much are you putting into like big Death Stars, MSU, buffing, like how many support units per units that are going to be supported by them? And so they all obviously have like metrics that are used to determine whether they're good, useful, if it's too much, not enough synergy. But there's no singular like theory that can kind of explain all of them. Not that Magic's not extremely complex, but it's harder to sort of categorize list building in 40K overall.
Well, here's the difference, I would say. In Magic, your goal is to kill your opponent, and that's a very direct goal, and every card in the game has some way to do that. Every card in the game facilitates you winning. They don't print cards that don't facilitate you winning.
But that could be the same with 40K. Winning.
40K, your goal is much more abstract. Your goal is to score points more than your opponent. Killing your opponent does not win you the game. So if you just try really hard to kill your opponent, you could still lose.
But you could also win.
You want a mixed strategy. Whereas in Magic, you usually double down. You say, like, this is the thing I'm doing. I'm going to do this thing so hard that I win. In 40K, that usually loses you the game. Right? Like, all my ABC games,
currently,
I, like, double, triple, quadruple down on charging and then lose. Because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Everybody has a mixed approach, which means they'll have an answer to your crazy, weird thing.
Yeah. I think this remains true for a good list in the current state of the game, right? I don't think it's always the case, but usually when that happens, it's because the game is busted.
Right. Like in 7th, there were
or
silly
Iron Hands, you know, or Leviathan. So, yeah, that's a good comparison. I like it.
Yeah. Where were we? That was a long... thanks, Trey. This is an orc list for you.
Yes.
A Claw Boss, a KFF mech, a Weird Boy, a Pain Boy, a Wallbanger, 120 boys, 3 Burn Bombers, 200 points left. What do you do?
Oh, 200 points?
How many boys can you get with that?
Yeah, exactly. Meganobs. Meganobs. You want something that can get in there, get crumping, get stuck in.
That's like 4 Meganobs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish you had a little bit more points so you could at least do 2 blocks of 3 instead of 1 block of...
You can afford to lose 20 boys out of this list. Like, if your goal is to run 120 boys, then don't cut them. Yeah. But if it was incidental, that you just put in as many boys as you thought maybe was a good idea, take some out, put more Meganobs in.
Yeah, I think some punch would be great. Yeah, you could do mech guns, but I think you have different kinds of reach in the form of like the planes that are going to be crashing. But then, like, generally speaking, you're like, cool, a lot of board coverage. You have the buffs, all that good stuff. So then now you need targeted punches or targeted shooting that also can hold the back, right? So I think those are the 2 things I would look at. I tend towards Meganobs in 9th edition, but yeah.
Yeah, I would not tell the average player to play mech guns. Like, it's just going to make you have unfun games.
Well, it's not a ton of mech guns. It's like 6 mech guns.
Yeah, it's just they either lead to disappointment for you or disappointment for your opponent, and that's mech guns.
That's mech guns for you.
That's orcs, though.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Thank you, Manxie. 30K when let Bridger have his apocalyptic templates.
Man, everyone's on the 30K train today.
I guess 30K's gotta happen.
Apparently,
we've been told.
We'll
keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted.
Whenever we have an update, we'll tell you. That's it's a lot of time and money.
Yeah, and
to get into 30K.
Yeah, it's a lot. We need to make sure that there's a certain amount of people that would watch it too. Like,
right.
I think it's a great game. I know there is a strong community that loves it, but we always worry. So I think in the future, what we'll do is we'll test the water and kind of see.
Right.
Well, that's what we're always doing. That was part of the vote when we did the big pushes to see do people want to see Necromunda, blah blah blah, and that lets us get a sense of like what are people interested in actually seeing. So we'll do that again. Again, keep letting us know, keep asking about it if there's something you're interested in. That helps us know that you guys want to see that.
Yeah. I think it's because Brian mentioned 30K on Thursday. That's why it's coming up.
You mentioned the templates. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Brandon. I noticed a lack of Venatari in this list. Last time you told us they were an auto-include. Any reason you would leave them at home? Because Brian wanted to build specifically a bad list. That's why he started with a Telemon and ended with no Venatari.
You. And the Aquilons.
And the Aquilons,
No.
yeah. Like, he built an intentionally suboptimal list. Like we said, Custodes are sort of balanced on a razor edge. You can go to one side and they're uber competitive and they're very strong and they'll just stomp a lot of armies. Or if you just tip a little bit to the other side of the curve, they're very weak. And we tipped to the other side of the curve because they were playing Eldar.
They're playing Eldar.
Venatari would
I don't
crush
think this
you.
is a bad list. This is not a bad list.
You would really struggle against Venatari.
Yeah.
Like, what does Eldar do? You can Doom and Jinx Venatari, but then you're not dealing with the threats.
Well, he'd have to drop something. What do you drop?
The Telemon, what?
I like the Telemon. Telemon's great.
What does it do in
You're
this
such a hater.
It does nothing.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's so
It's
bad.
cute. Well, the other reason you leave the Venatari at home is we gave them back.
They did leave home.
They did leave home. Yeah. So these are our buddy Shane's models, and these are also Jeff's Venatari. So he lent them to us, but we had to return them. So I think personally, we should go take those Sanguinary Guard, rip all their arms off, and turn them into Venatari again. Sanguinary is old news. It's old hat. It's all about Venatari now.
New worst model.
We can have 15 Venatari right now if we wanted to, Bridger. Hopefully Brian's not watching the stream. Let's go do this. Let's do this right now.
Pulling models.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Viking Wargaming. Hey, guys. Love your content.
Thank you.
What do you gents want from the next Custodes Codex? I think +1 wound across the board, perma-transhuman, and better damage for our weapons isn't a stretch.
This is an and, not an or thing?
These are all and, yeah.
Holy moly.
It's not a stretch, honestly. Like, +1 wound across the board is a minor buff.
Oh, +1 wound.
Right.
Not +1 2 wound.
No, +1 wound across the board is, like we discussed earlier, a pretty minor buff. Permanent transhuman on an already T5 army, honestly, is not crazy. Like, that's just, it's in most cases -1 to wound.
Yeah.
Which is very strong, don't get me wrong.
It's great.
But they're also very expensive models. And then better damage, please, I hope.
Yeah, for sure.
Our damage is poop.
Ugh. They didn't get the flattening yet, did they?
No.
So you do D3.
Yep.
Wait, which is better against Death Guard?
Power Fist.
It's currently better.
Flat 2. So the Aquilons are flat 2, but no, the Axes and Spears are D3. The Lances are D3. It's real bad.
Right, the stuff that's in the Forge World book got updates.
Not even all of it. I think the Forge World bike might still have D3 damage. It's not worth checking. But.
That's wacky. Yeah, no, those all sound great, and wouldn't be far fetched, honestly.
Yep.
So.
Thanks, JT. Hope Brian's situation isn't too hardy har.
It's true.
You two should have done an impromptu 1K game. My name's Bridger. I love Telemons. Anyway, blah blah blah.
That's right. It's true. You should read the blah blah blah.
It just says blah blah blah.
Yeah, we thought about doing an impromptu game, but we just we always want to make sure we give you guys high quality content. So. It would have been kind of janky.
Yeah, I would have had to get an extension cord and change scenes from over here.
Yeah.
And not paid any attention to you guys in chat, which we're still doing. I'm not paying any attention to you guys in chat. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So again, apologies guys, but we can hang out.
Yeah. I think we enjoy hanging out.
I like hanging out. That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks again, Martin. I love how you guys took my Custodes Terminators as Deathwing questions seriously. You're both so professional. We're lucky to have you. I don't know if professional is how we describe us, but we try to be professional.
Hey, man, we get some questions that are not ironic, and, you just never know. You got to answer them.
It's really hard to tell when questions are serious or not. Because, people on the internet, they say crazy things.
Yeah, the
internet.
internet.
I saw somebody on the internet say Ratlings are underrated.
And Blade Guard are underrated, too.
Blade Guard are underrated.
Wait, yeah.
People on the internet, they say wild stuff.
Wild.
So you just got to take it one step at a time.
Yeah, totally. So thanks for your support, Martin.
Yeah, thanks for all the support you give us. Thank you, Max. I think Raven Guard Centurions can still work with increased flamer range. I think they could probably do a number on Morty with +1 to hit and wound enough strength 4 to make Deathwing Terminus sweat as well as hold the board. I know that people have been saying that Raven Guard Centurions won some event or something.
What?
I would not conflate. Anytime you see one list show up at one event and win, don't conflate a good player with a good army.
That's fair.
Sometimes really good players have pet models that they bring. Like, if I were to play Raven Guard at an event, I would probably still put the Centurions in because they're my babies. That's why I built that army. Like, I wanted that to work. I wouldn't win the event, but
yeah.
I don't.
It's like when you see Sean Naden taking witches. You're like, well, witches are good. You're like, yeah, Sean Naden's good. He's basically, Elf Jesus, so that's different.
Centurions are way overpriced. They do a flat 3 damage, which is now good.
I think they actually have flat 4 now.
Why?
Because they're bad.
Be in the game.
They're bad. They just get no rerolls. So against Morty, you're talking about +1 to hit and wound because of being Raven Guard. But that comes down to the other problem with them is the main problem with them, to be honest, is they don't get any buffs. They don't get rerolls. They get nothing. So
they're not core. That was the biggest nerf in 9th.
Yeah.
But also at the end of 8th, we stopped playing them because their points went through the ceiling. They're one of the most overpriced units.
They hit them too hard too anyways. I really hope that they fix that.
They move 4, guys.
Well, yeah.
They move 4. They don't go into any transports. You could outflank them.
But yeah, if you're Raven Guard, that doesn't matter.
That was the only army they worked. I mean, they worked in White Scars.
In White Scars.
I shouldn't say that.
In White Scars, yeah. For similar reasons. I would love for them to be better again, but no, we don't think that they.
But reasonable this time. Don't make them the way they were.
No, yeah, of course. Like they nerfed them in way too many ways. Like you said, we both have 18 of them. I would love to play them.
But they were too good before the nerf. Is what I'm saying.
It was don't dumb.
Restore that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that again.
Yeah, exactly.
You should never have more than 6 Centurions in an army.
Correct.
That's the right number.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Martin. Martin again. Wow, Martin's on fire.
What's up, Martin?
So my chicken Kiev is ready, and my Burgundy wine is open. Hope you guys enjoy an early finish, and you can take Adrian to Taco Bell for special dinner. Adrian, you want to go to Taco Bell?
Oh, no. I forgot I'm busy that day.
Adrian, you were supposed to be streaming right now. You can't go with me to Taco Bell.
That's right. I know you're not busy, Adrian.
No, Saturday is my Subway day.
That's true.
I get my soggy Subway on Saturday.
Well, if you would eat it properly, it wouldn't be soggy.
Too busy, man. Gotta drive home. It's gonna get soggy.
Eat it in the parking lot.
I'm not gonna sit in the parking lot like a sad person.
You're already getting Subway. You're already a sad person.
An even more sad person.
All right, fair. There we go. At least you accepted it.
Thanks, Tris. Hey, Titans. Hope
Hello.
Brian is okay. He is.
He's okay. Everything's good.
Love what you guys do, so take my money. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We'll take your dollar dues.
We will take your dollar
dues. Did I do it right?
I don't know if Tris is a dollar due person.
Everyone's a dollar due person.
But a lot of people say dollar dues. Yeah. Thanks, Steven. For AdMech, does Shroud Psalm work for vehicles? Yes.
It does, yeah. We've heard, we've heard the argument that it doesn't, but it does, in fact. It is specifically, they can't benefit from light cover granted by terrain.
Correct.
Which is 99% of the way that you gain light cover in the game. But Shroud Psalm does grant it.
There's a Grey Knight way to get it.
Grey Knights get it. Raven Guard
get it?
Well, actually, they have a specific thing that changes for vehicles. But the Eldar one, they do get it.
Yep.
So any of those ways, they absolutely do grant it.
Don't call it Conceal?
No, Conceal is the power. It is... yes. Oh, it's Masters of Concealment.
Oh, right. The chapter tactic is what you were talking about. I was thinking the Psychic Power Conceal.
Conceal, Reveal. It's +1. No, Conceal is -1 to be hit, I think.
No, they didn't make that a Psychic Power. It's +1 to hit.
No, there's actually almost all the Warlock powers are amazing, and you only see the most amazing ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. -1 to hit is a Psychic Power.
Right.
But only in shooting, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's Conceal, Reveal,
which nobody ever takes.
It can take away cover, and then I don't know. Anyways,
yeah.
Like I said, they're all amazing. It's just you run out of Warlocks, and yeah, they're Warlocks.
Thanks on my lunch break. Love how 9th is just becoming as rule heavy as Horus Heresy, where you pay to upgrade a unit or character to be a boss at a cost.
Yeah.
Just no templates. Yeah, bring back templates, man.
Templates are cool.
Get rid of the blast rule. Give me blast templates back. I'll be a happy boy.
Make flamers ignore cover.
I would probably never go to a tournament again, but bring back templates.
It's horrible. It is horrible.
Thanks, Spencer. Want a sisters list with more Celestians, but the elite slots are precious.
Yeah.
Thoughts about leaning into the bodyguard role? Don't use a slot per canoness.
I I think it's interesting. I really like Celestians as well. Like in my main list, I do have 20 of them currently.
Wow.
I'm leaning away from them now because of the elites slot problem, to be honest. And so I think they're great. And if you build around a Canoness, if you take them, you have to build around a Canoness. They're awesome. Makes me sad that you can't build them around Junith because she is a mega Canoness, which is super dumb.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Trajan's not a shield captain.
Like,
he's a captain general.
But yeah, no, I think they're interesting. I think it's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Darth. Man, these just keep going. Do you see how far my scroll bar is from the bottom? It's Q&A day. Just a few.
They're like, well, we have them now.
We're already 2 hours in.
Wait, really? Oh my god.
Thank you, Darth. With the influx of boss fight models such as Silent King and the updates to Morty, do you think the rowboat will receive any updates or changes? Not in the near future.
Yeah, just I think if they wanted to, they would have. You know, I think until
they already changed him.
Yeah,
they changed how his aura works.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to change him, they would have changed him then.
Exactly.
Or maybe they're going to reprint all of those supplements sometime eventually.
Someday.
And they might change him then.
Because the game would have changed so much by then. I'm not holding my breath for it, to be honest. Yeah. I think it is what it is. I think we finally got through all the new Marine rules.
Well, let's also point out that Guilliman and Mortarion. Oh, I gotta be careful here. Every piece of him is so fragile.
Yeah.
These two models should not be equivalent.
That's true.
You see this?
Fair.
Not the same, right? Very much not the same.
Yeah.
Silent King is Mortarion sized. That's why he has Mortarion sized rules. Guilliman is a force multiplier. He's a great general. He's not Mortarion in terms of fighting. He shouldn't be. That would be wrong.
Yeah. He used to have all the Space Marine warlord traits, which was really a lot to keep track of.
Which nowadays would be really, really a lot to keep track of.
Well, yeah, it was the 6 main ones, I'll say.
No, you would have like 18 now. 19 with Ultramarines?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Too many.
No, that's amazing. I love it.
That would be funny. You'd never remember any of it.
Right.
Thank you, Callum. Hey guys, what buffs do you think Tyranids could get to be fluffy but powerful? Double the wounds on everything.
For the big monsters.
Everything.
2 wound gaunts.
Yes, 2 wound gaunts. 2 wound.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Silly.
I do think that the hordes need the Necron warrior treatment. No, I'm not saying exactly 1-for-1, but like return D3 models to them from certain things, right?
But not
reanimation
protocol.
I wouldn't.
They go into squads of 30, Adrian. You can't do that. You can't do that.
No, I wouldn't. But even, something like that.
Even with like a Turvagon nearby?
Yeah.
No.
Correct.
That's the mom?
That is the mom. No, you got it right. I'm just thinking about it.
Nailed it.
Because generally I don't love the Turvagon because it's very non-9th edition way. It's like how to do reanimation the wrong way, right? Reanimation is good because you actually get extra movement. The Turvagon does the opposite. You get less movement because you have to stay within range. So you're like blah, 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 out on the points, and then you have to pull back if you want to be able to regenerate. Right. And so, yeah, it's anyway. So some form of minor regeneration, more wounds, make synapse basic. So we've seen this thing where the design philosophy has changed so that the flavor for armies is only good. There's no negatives, which is a very modern sort of game design philosophy, right? Yeah. It used to be like, well, there's got to be downsides, and nowadays the downsides are really just the things that you don't have. It's not like a rule that you have that takes away, right?
There's one thing in the whole game you don't have. That's the new books.
Exactly. That's like the modern philosophy. And so I would say, you know, make the same thing with Synapse and instinctive behavior, where it's like, okay, they're already good, they already get the benefits, and if they're in Synapse, they become even better. I would love to see that.
And make Synapse a smaller range so it matters.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, don't just make it extra rules on your datasheet that you just always have. That's lame.
More rules for no reason.
Right, right.
Billy.
Thank you, Simon. Hey guys, wondering how you would change the Raven Guard chapter tactic to better match their playstyle. Also, when will they be coming to the channel? Not soon, right? Death Watch are first.
Yeah, we need Death Watch.
Death Wing are probably before Raven Guard.
I mean, we'll have the Death Wing soon. I'm almost done with those. Yeah, so not soon. We will do it absolutely. And changing the chapter tactics. It's funny because they actually, not so much currently, but they were, again, one of the chapters that was really interesting to take as a successor chapter.
Right.
Because they have You get the strats. That's the best thing about the army.
Mhm.
The super doctrine is not amazing, so you don't really care about it in that sense. But being able to give them like you could go more melee Ravenwing, right, and give them +1 to chart or Hungry for Battle and something else. I don't know if that's still the case, because I agree their chapter tactic is a little weird, to be honest.
I would like to see them get like, I mean, these are crazy things they're not going to change, but like we want to see White Scars give bikes OPSEC.
Yeah.
I want to see all the Vanguard stuff get OPSEC. Like anything that can scout deploy, I want it to have OPSEC.
That's cool.
And I think pregame moves should just be like part of like there's a Necron chapter tactic.
Yeah.
Pregame move.
Yeah.
That should be part of the Raven Guard one. It's like we
that's
saw you
cool.
set up, we moved.
That's cool.
Right?
I
like
that.
That would be cool. But they've never done that before. They've never made that like a mainstream normal chapter tactic. And I don't think they would. That's something they view as a splat thing. Like like your whole army's double OPSEC. That's a splat thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Right.
It's awesome. Super strong. But it's not something they want to be in every army.
That's true. Yeah, like a -1 damage or something.
It's tough with Raven Guard though. The things they would be good at would be too good in 9.
To me, it's tough to build a chapter tactic around it, right? Because they're good at sneaking, and if you make your army universally good at that, I can think of a number of ways you could do it, but they would all be totally busted. You know, like
or -1 to hit, which is like not even a thing anymore.
I don't. Well, I like it because -1 to hit was too powerful before, but now it's like cool. You're -1 to hit if you're beyond 18, and it's like, well, that's the board is so much smaller now. The games are so much closer together. I really don't love it, but I'm also hard pressed to think of something that would replace it. I'm more about what are the tactics, the stratagems, the upgrades that you can give them that doesn't like universally affect the entire army.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're saying just leave them with a bad chapter tactic?
No, I'm saying I don't. Have
would
a
it be
good
crazy
answer.
to take the conditions off if they were just always in cover, and if they were on a piece of terrain, they were -1 to hit, regardless of range? Would that be wild? Would that be crazy? Is that even comparable to Dark Angels or Blood Angels or White Scars or even Ultramarines, Iron Hands? Like,
yeah,
is that even as good as any other chapter tactic?
Maybe not. My only fear. No, I don't have a fear. I'm trying to think of like, okay, so if you do that, it's great, it's interesting. I don't know that it's busted like by default.
Right.
But I immediately try to think about what are ways that people can skew.
Right. How can you bust it?
Yeah, and especially in ways that are not Raven Guard.
Have a bunch of Terminators with Storm Shields that are always in cover, so they're always 1-up saves. That's obnoxious.
And -1 to hit.
Well, no, it's -1 if they're on a piece of terrain.
Yeah.
Which, is that worse than Deathwing Terminators?
No. But they shouldn't be as tough as Deathwing. They shouldn't even be close to as tough as Deathwing Terminators, right?
They should be.
That's the thing.
Less tough, but not by a wide margin, because they should be sneaky, right? They should be like harder to hit. Like Deathwing are hard to wound and kill. Raven Guard should be hard to hit. That's like their thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is a tough question.
It's a tough problem to solve. Yeah. That's why GW hasn't solved it. It's because it's a hard problem.
It's true. Good question.
Hard problem. Thanks, Simon. Hey guys, wondering how you would change. No.
Yes.
Thanks again, Simon. Though it was a good question. Tough question.
It's so tough. I think we should discuss it again.
Thanks, Scott. Hey Titans, any Age of Sigmar on the way for Freeview? Hope all is okay, and we'll see you on Thursday. All is okay. We will see you on Thursday.
All good.
We do have Sigmar planned for not February, right?
Well,
are we gonna make it in February?
It's been such a weird month. We don't know for sure. We are gonna. We'll let you know sooner than later. It will be Freeview. We don't want to do all our Sigmar as Freeview because we don't do a ton of it, and it's good to get that content out there, right? So we will be doing it, and we are still having negotiations about what we can take because Brian wants to take Zinch. Again, he's not here, so he can't say anything to me.
You know what he said to me the other day? He said you could play the Zinch.
Oh,
would you want to play Zinch? He could play
like
Sylvaneth. He could play the Boring Marines.
The Sigmarines?
The Boring Marines?
Yeah.
I think them against... did I say Sylvaneth?
Yeah, you did. You did. The Seraphon.
No. Seraphon. Yeah, I think them against Seraphon.
Could be interesting.
Or you could play Mel's Deepkin.
Yeah.
Which is possibly a good matchup.
It could be interesting.
Zinch.
Yeah, if they get done again. Well, so he thinks it's a good matchup. I don't, because
I don't know.
To me, it's like they both have kind of shenanigan rules that go kind of straight past each other, and that's not necessarily a good time. Like even if they're like, cool, I have a 2-up unrendable, rerollable save, and then the Zinch is like, oh, we just do mortal wounds, and then like you're showcasing neither army, and you're just kind of like ignoring all this stuff. Now the Edeneth can have a 6 up Field of Pain. I think the things just destroy them in that game, to be honest.
I have no idea.
I
don't know.
Anyways, so we've been kind of working on how to do an interesting matchup with armies that people want to play. I have a ton of Sigmar armies, but
they're all bad.
No, he said that Nagash was bad, but like Nagash is bad, but the faction is not bad. The faction can be quite oppressive.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll see. We've been giving it a lot of thought, and Mel's working on Edeneth. I'm working on my Trajan.
She's working on. I thought you were supposed to be painting her. Wow.
Okay, no. So
Commander's here, and he is messaging her. I guarantee.
It's a joint project. I just finished building more eels, and you know my newest discovery.
That is a diplomatic way to put it.
It's a joint project. Yeah. We just started basing with AK's desert sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to use than any of the GW basing and any of my like rocks and sand. And like, it's so easy, it's so fast, and it looks really good.
AK basing's amazing.
It's so good. And it's like cheap too.
Yeah, it's cheap.
I compared it. It was
you
like
get a huge tub for like $5.
Yeah. Well, it was like, so the Sterling Mud is like $8 US dues for 50 milliliters, I think.
So little.
And then the AK tub
It's huge.
for 14 US dues comes with over 10 times as much stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
It's no comparison.
Today's sponsor is AK. I was just blown away.
Don't let Vallejo know.
I know. Well, why not both, you know? I'm accepting all offers.
Ooh. First come, first serve. Where were we even?
I don't know. What was the question?
We just did Scott.
That's Scott.
And he just asked for Sigmar. There was no question. He was just like, hope to see
Sigmar. There wasn't even a question? Yes. Cool.
Thank you, Iron-Blooded. If I run Sisters of Silence Squad in my Custodes Patrol, does the detachment lose the Custodian detachment ability of +1 to invuln? I don't think so.
No.
I think we're good on that.
I do not believe so.
The Sisters have a rule that says they can be put into Custodes detachments.
Yeah.
Sisters of Silence. Yeah. Not Sisters of Battle. Don't do that with Sisters of Battle.
No.
Then you'll be cheating, and that's bad.
You can bring them in a separate detachment.
Yeah. Don't, though.
Yeah. We don't love it.
It makes both armies worse.
Yeah.
Thanks. A1031.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a plane. I think, probably.
Oh. Is it the A10 or is it
A1031?
31.
Like, I think it's an...
I'll take a look. I don't know. Now I'm curious.
Hey, guys.
I just realized our mechanic guy stopped showing up.
He did, yeah.
Oh,
I was talking to Brian about this the other day.
That's a bummer. Anyways, A1031.
A1031. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. Hey guys, I'm trying to decide between White Scars or Ravenwing for a primarily Space Marine biker army. Any suggestions?
Yes.
Or thoughts?
Do White Scars.
Why?
If you want to build a force that's based around pure bikes, White Scars are going to be able to do it, well, it's tough because they don't have
more
OPSEC.
effectively?
More effectively. Because you can take, obviously Outriders are amazing. Even the regular bikes they make interesting. You can take all of this stuff. My problem with Ravenwing is they just don't have...
They're underwhelming.
They're underwhelming combat-wise. Well, they're underwhelming in general compared to the Deathwing, but I feel like the Dark Angels army feels, even though they've said, okay, here's the 3 wings, you're going to give you abilities for each of them, it feels like they still want you to run a combined arms detachment. Like, they still want you to have a bit of each in their own detachment, but working in concert, and that's kind of what we boiled it down to. So I think if you want to do just pure bikes, I would lean White Scars. Yeah.
Because Ravenwing, if you had a whole army of Ravenwing, it's just not going to be as good.
You can't take a punch. There's no melee durability, whereas White Scars, they have a bunch. They can do well with that. Obviously, you in theory can get access to most of the same things, or almost all the same things, but I think the White Scars are just going to be...
Well, the White Scars invuln strats are better.
Wait, why? They can't get the 3 up anymore, I think.
4 up, though.
4 up. Ravenwing can get that.
Oh, they get 4?
From shooting.
All right.
Yeah, when you're targeted, you get 4 up.
Can White Scars get it in combat?
No.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not, neither is bad, but I would tend towards White Scars to have a more well-rounded biker army.
Sounds good. Hey, speaking of Cobra Commander, thanks Cobra Commander.
Hey.
Hi, Adrian and Bridger. What a beautiful board.
Thank you.
Are you willing to hand camp through the terrain and talk about it? Also loving the Q&A with A and B.
A and B.
I turned off our hand cam setup.
Oh, you monster.
When I found out that we weren't doing the stream.
That's fair.
So
it's up to you.
I would mind. No, I'm not willing. It was asked. Am I willing?
Are you willing? Fair enough.
No. Get out of here, Cobra Commander.
Yep.
Just going to turn the lights on.
Is the top down on? Is the top down on?
Yeah?
Show them the top
Is
down.
that
real
gonna
quick.
help? Is that what you want?
So if you guys have seen Tuesday or Thursday's game, you've seen the terrain close up. You can see the layout that we had here. It was gonna be Dawn of War. I dropped this objective on the ground, but yeah,
It's a good place for it.
this is a very like classic board. I've been building more traditional boards lately, which has been interesting. Yeah, that's
There's
the board.
2 objectives you can't see from the top down. There's this one
Yeah, so it's boom,
and this one.
and then 2 in each deployment zone here and here. And this is just like cover in the middle and then a bunch of obscuring here. I love these Zone Metalis boards for 40k. It's just so modular. So yeah, that's the terrain. And bonus points if you guys can find the sword from that one shot. I think it's literally invisible.
There's no way.
It's literally.
They'll never find it. Did I click the right button? Oh, I did.
You did.
You nailed it.
You did the thing.
But good to see you, Cobra.
Thanks, Cobra.
Sorry I didn't hand cam for you. I turned everything off. It would take like 5 minutes to get it. Thanks, Mr. Wakefield. Hey guys, what would you consider taking for a 500-point tourney Craftworld list? I was thinking Spirit Seer, 5 Avengers, 3 Spears, 4 Spears, and a Falcon. Before we answer this question, I have seen a crazy number of people, as in more than 0, say that they're playing 500-point tourneys.
Tourneys? Wow.
Blowing my mind.
That is bananas.
Wait.
What a, like, oof, oof, oof.
How do you
That'd
even...
be nuts.
Like...
What board size is that? The 1,000-point size?
Yeah. So, like...
The 1-foot board?
The reason we are so shocked that 500-point tourneys are being played is the game has pretty much never been balanced to be played at that scale. That is essentially a skirmish scale game, and Warhammer rules are real bad for skirmish. Just real
small scale
bad.
skirmish. Yeah,
like skirmish needs alternating activation to function.
Yeah.
It is like the lifeblood of skirmish games.
Yeah,
and so I go, you go.
Right.
When my army can kill half your army,
yeah,
and your army is tiny.
Yeah.
It feels really bad.
I mean, that's why Kill Team is different, right? Because that's
exactly.
that scale.
Exactly.
It's alternating.
So that's why we're so shocked.
Yeah.
Additionally, 9th edition, I feel, made it even harder for 500-point games to be played because the secondaries, you might as well just not take them.
Yeah. Nothing's going to live past turn 1.
They're impossible.
I'd be like, While We Stand would be probably really good, actually. Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Having said that, though, I like that 500-point list. I think it's flexible. I think those spears are going to do work. They are going to absolutely wreck. And I do like you have the transport because that matters for 1,000 points and probably matters a lot more for 500 points.
Yeah.
So
Can't imagine trying to kill a Falcon
with 500 points.
500 points. Because like the lists you're going to see are going to be dumb lists.
Yeah.
Like you're going to see Mortarion. He will... it'll just be one. It'll just be Mortarion.
No.
You will play against or see somebody playing against just Mortarion in your 500-point tournament.
That's horrible.
A great example of why 500-point tournaments should not be played right now.
No, that's nuts.
But you will also play against like 2 Demolisher tank commanders with max infantry after that.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, well,
500 points. I could fit like a good number of Deathwing Terminators in that.
Right? Right?
Or just like a unit of Inceptor is like,
stupid.
Gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, hope you have fun. Hope your games last more than 2 turns each.
I'm very curious what a tournament day looks like in 500 points.
Probably real quick.
Play like 9 games, or do you just like play till lunch?
I don't think you played 9.
I don't know. Maybe it's like Magic, right? You got to do each game is 3 rounds, and then you do 3 games. That'd be 9 rounds. Perfect.
Thanks, Chateau Mama. There's no message, but thanks for the support.
Thank you so much.
You might have typed it in normal chat, which I cannot see.
Yep.
And this was a long time ago, so good luck with that.
The chat is gonna last. This is not a super chat, but I have to read it. The chat's gonna last longer than Adrian's Jukari on Thursday.
Oh, it already has. Oh no!
He made me keep playing too.
He did. Thanks, Aaron. Hey guys, just starting Death Watch. One thing I can't figure out is how to deal with vehicles. Can you guys help?
Ooh, we can.
Eradicators?
Oh, Eradicators! If you haven't seen our Death Watch guide, definitely check that out because we would not start a Death Watch army with anything less than 2 groups of 4 Eradicators in a full Indomitor class kill team. That is a lot of kill.
A lot of tank killing.
Yeah. So, and I understand also you might not have been able to do this because there's no heavy intercessor kits before last weekend. But now that exists, we highly recommend that.
Highly recommend.
It's really good.
It's So go out and buy like 5 of that Kill Team box and find people to buy the rest of that box. Good luck.
What a weird marketing decision on their part.
It's a genius marketing decision. They know they already have you.
Oh, Morty's illegal because it's a patrol game only.
Oh,
That's
patrol
cool.
only.
Okay, that's good. I like that. I like that. That fixes a lot of those problems. Thanks, Grotworks.
That fixes that specific problem. Doesn't fix any of the other.
Well, it fixes, yeah, a subset of problems for sure. All our other criticisms.
You won't play Magnus either.
It's true.
Nailed it. Alrighty, thanks, Josh. Hey guys, can't wait to see the Golden Cleaning Crew versus the Dancing. Oh wait, never mind. Just kidding. Thanks for what y'all do.
No problem. Check it out on Thursday.
We will, yeah. We'll re-rack on Thursday.
Has it been long enough that we should announce what's going on?
We should probably.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, no, we haven't already finished the game and been tabled, but you never know. Brian wasn't able to make it. A last minute thing come up, so we had to reschedule this game. It's going to be next Thursday at our regular time. It'll be the same exact matchup. So I know people were looking forward to that. That's going to happen. In the meantime, we're just hanging out, just A and B, just taking some Q's and A's.
Yeah.
Quite parched already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left my drink far away.
Do you need your water?
No.
You need your,
I don't know where
Coke?
I think I drank it all before the game. I don't actually remember. It's gone now.
All right.
Thanks, Casey, asking for Chateau Mama since they whiffed their chat.
Oh, thank you.
Is there any place for Hounds of Mordecai? That's a Chaos thing, right?
Yes, naturally.
What is that?
No, that's the Space Wolf specific. It's the new Space Wolf Reaver unit, which I am blanking on what their ability is. Let's grab the books right there. Let's take a look. So they're basically Reavers, but they have one other special rule. I don't remember if it's a psychic thing or something.
Why they did this. Nobody asked for this.
It was so weird.
Nobody wanted.
And then they low-key, pun intended, but low-key advertised it as a new unit.
Right.
And so people thought it was going to be a new kit, and it wasn't
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Every faction got a new model.
Except the Space Wolves.
Except the Space Wolves, so we got this.
That's messed up. That's horrible.
Okay. Hunters Beyond Death. Ignore Lookout Serve the target's a Psyker. And +1 to hit and +1 damage.
Whoa, that's cool. And then they have the Aura. Well, enemy Psyker unit was within 18, -1 to cast. If they're within 6, it's another -1 to cast. Okay. And then can we check the points on them? How much more are you paying for this? They're still elites.
Still elites.
So it's the same slot.
Hounds.
How much to just straight up upgrade a
They are 22 points a model.
And how much are Reavers normally? Sorry, I'm asking you all the questions.
I don't know, man.
20...
Oh, this is the wrong book.
Yeah, main book.
I need another... Jeez, how many
I
books
think that's cool, actually.
Oh,
but they're just Reavers. They're
their guns suck.
They're not even infiltrators or anything.
They have pistols.
They're just the pistols.
Yeah, their guns are terrible.
They're not even the big pistols. They're just the special issue bolt pistol.
So it's strength 4, AP2, 1 damage. Which is better, technically. It's more AP than the heavy bolt pistol.
Yeah.
But it's only 12 inch range.
Yeah.
And they don't have the cool rule that we suggested, which is they grapple onto terrain and pull themselves forward. Right?
This unit, there's another one. Jeez, there's so many rules. Runic Totems. They can only be targeted by enemy powers if they're the closest. What? And they have 4+ penal pain against mortals. Okay.
Okay, so they really, really hate Psychers.
They really don't like Psychers.
They really hate Psychers.
Yeah.
It's been...
I don't love it unless they're
They're 4 points more per model than Reavers.
4?
4 points per model.
I'll leave them at home. It's a really cool concept, but I don't know what they didn't... Yeah.
Yeah. No.
If they were good, no. Yeah. Unfortunately, not the biggest fan.
We don't like normal Reavers. Normal Reavers are overpriced.
We want to like them, but we don't.
We want them to have better rules. We like the model.
Yeah.
We don't like the unit.
Yeah.
Paying more points for a Reaver that's even more situational.
Nah.
Not feeling it. Thanks, Todd. Hey, Titans. So I know it's been asked a lot, but what are you hoping or fearing about the new Dark Eldar Codex? What do Dark Eldar need?
So I'll talk about fears because this is the most different book from what we've seen thus far. It diverges the most. Obviously, it's not Marines, but that's not what I'm talking about, guys. Jeez. All the other books have been about durability, right? Even the ones that aren't technically like Blood Angels and Death Watch, there's still Space Marines which have that kind of built in as a core concept, right? And so this is the first fast-moving, not directly durable army or book for
T3.
9th edition.
This is the first T3 book.
It is. So this is going to be a really important one to sort of define how these kind of armies can play in the future.
Pivotal moment.
That's my fear. Because that's actually a really hard thing to design around.
Yeah.
Honestly is. I think Sisters and Harlequins show that it can be done in theory, make them durable, make them playable, make them even known for being tough, which is kind of a wild thing. But we'll see about that. Hoping wise, I'm hoping to make more of my toys viable, right? I want my witches, I want my Cobbleites, you know? I just want to play with more of the things. I have models that we haven't seen because they're so bad in an army that already struggles that it's not interesting to have them on the table. And that's what I'm hoping for.
That's how I feel about Craft World as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you, Skaven Clown Loach. What?
What?
Okay.
All right.
Hey guys, I have around 4K of painted Primaris Red Scorpions. I play them as Ultramarines using Raven Guard. What?
Wait.
What chapter do you think would be good to play as if I'm using Calm in Dread form and 2 Redemptors? So their chapter master Calm is a Leviathan with silly guns.
Right.
He has like a claw that he can squeeze you to death, but then he can never use the claw again. And I don't know what his other arm is, but it's a ridiculous relic gun.
Yeah. So he's got an Onager Gauntlet, basically.
It's weird. Like, I don't know why. It was such a goofy rule.
That's so wacky.
Does he still have it? He might not still have that rule, because the only reason I know this is in the team tournament.
In 8th edition.
A friend, team tournament in 8th edition, a friend was going to play Red Scorpions to field as many...
the
Leviathan. As many Leviathans
the Leviathan hole. So he's going to run more than the max, basically. That's so big.
Are they still?
And they have Severin Loft, too. Yeah, they should be in there. So if you're going Dreadnought heavy, obviously Iron Hands are really, really powerful for that. And I'm trying to think, like, yeah, that's kind of the main one, to be honest, if you want to focus on that.
All right, here's Carib Cullen.
Okay, Carib Cullen. That's
his weapon no longer has a silly rule. Oh, he does still have Death Hold. So the model does not suffer the penalty hit rolls when making attacks with this heavy bolter that target units within engagement range.
Ooh.
That's not what Death Hold did before.
That doesn't...
So they took all of his fun rules away.
He's only T7 now.
A lame.
Tarsus Scorpii.
Yeah, that's his grabby claw.
That's cool. Is that much different than a regular Leviathan one, though?
Nope. It used to be so cool. You could, like, squeeze somebody to death, but then they were in your claw, so you couldn't use it anymore.
Yeah.
And you couldn't use the gun anymore or something. And now he's just a slightly better Leviathan. Okay,
so let me make a suggestion. You could look at, again, running Iron Hands, and don't run the technical Carib Cullen rules. Run them as a regular Leviathan that you use to make a character with Iron Hands. They didn't prevent that on Leviathans, did they?
He's a character.
I know, but you can't. I'm saying do Iron Hands generic Leviathan. Can you still make them a character, or did they take that away from?
I think you still can.
Okay, and then obviously you can't give them relics, but you can give them several warlord traits that make them interesting. So that might make them a bit more flavorful, personally. If you do want to run them this way, I still just feel like Iron Hands. If you're wanting to run Redemptors with this guy, Iron Hands.
Yeah, Iron Hands is the way to run Dreadnoughts.
For sure, you know? Like, and the thing is, like, Ultramarines are the like traditional army that's used for Red Scorpions, right? But these guys don't need to fall back and shoot. What do you need that for? He specifically has a rule for staying in combat and shooting.
Yeah.
So Iron Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. How's Severin Loft look these days?
Who? What?
That's their chief librarian. He's gone?
I don't think he's in here.
No. Here he is.
Oh.
Severin Loft. He's got a 4+ invuln.
Oh, that's rare.
Yeah. He can give a rerolls to wound against a psyker for 1 unit next to him.
Okay.
All right. Wait, he's not a psyker? Oh.
He has the Magister's Axe.
He's the same as a Primaris Librarian.
Okay.
Weird. Okay, so he's just normal.
But he's a Magister's Axe? He really hates psychers. His axe is like mortal wounds against psychers if they fail their save.
Oh, and he does have Chief Librarian. Cool. I was like, they wrote this weird. They basically say, look in the book at the librarian rule, and then above he has the keyword Chief Librarian. It says, look in the Space Marine book.
Weird, because this book came out after the Space Marine book.
Yeah.
Maybe that means they're going to write
another Space Marine book.
5th Space Marine Codex?
I'm so mad.
Like Codex Space Marines?
Well, there you go.
There we go.
Red Scorpions.
Red Scorpions. We did it. Thank you, Coffee Eater. The Warhammer community page made a point to show off a short model in the Hedonite Big Boy unit that's likely a halfling. What kind of AOS rule or lore shenanigans do you think they can do for a halfling army?
Oh,
That's
cool.
Blood Bowl has halflings. I don't think Warhammer Fantasy had halflings, did it?
As a full army?
Right.
No.
No.
I like also when that Blood Bowl team came out, they advertised it as the worst Blood Bowl team of all time.
They're real bad. That was not a joke. They're real bad.
It's so good.
It's like if you are 3 times better than your opponent,
yeah,
you can play them, and it might be a good game.
That's amazing. I would give them the diminutives rule, which is kind of like in D&D, gnomes and halflings have this. It's -1 to hit, just because they're small. You know, that'd be cool.
But your little Noblar dudes, they don't get -1 to hit.
Yeah, but that's because they come in like hordes. Hordes and hordes and hordes.
What if you just modeled, you had like a proxy army, you played a goblin army, but it was all halflings?
All
That would be
halflings.
great.
Oh my. There's an amazing Trajan army on Instagram, and I feel bad because I forget the name, something Otto. And he's doing a full Trajan army that's like a junker halfling army.
Ooh,
and so it's like
cool.
junk ships, and like the balloon boys are actually like just little cute like robots. And so it's like and he uses the Blood Bowl army, so it's like the halfling with like the pot on his head is like the captain,
That's
and
so
it's
cool.
amazing.
I love it.
So yeah, I don't know, rules for them being small, being like able to like do weird things, move through enemy models again because they're so small, they just run through the legs. I don't know, they can do something cool. I would 100% play a halfling army if they came out.
And they should have an ogre unit that throws the halfling unit.
Yeah, naturally.
Because that's like what they're about.
Exactly.
And also you have to eat a halfling to throw some. Yeah. Thanks, Chronix. TTT stand up in reference to the joke said at 2 p.m. Was that really 2 p.m.? No, that was longer ago. It's your 2 p.m., our some other time.
It's true.
All right, so we have to work together to read this. So I say, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Brian.
No, my win streak. Is that good?
Perfect.
Oh, that's amazing.
I want
to say my win streak?
Yeah, no, my win streak.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to break the win streak. My loss streak continues. It would have been, well, we'll see on Thursday. I think this is a interesting game. I just don't trust it, though. We'll see.
I want to see a TV show where stand-up comedians have to dry read jokes off a teleprompter.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
They're like, hello, knock, knock. My name is.
Like, they'll try to put.
They have to like improv it, basically.
Right. They have to figure out where the punchline is and like how to even tell the joke, where to put emphasis.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ape of Justice. Hi from the UK. Thoughts on my Cruffle Eldar Harlequins list? 1 Shadow Seer, 1 Troop Master with Fang, 2 Fusion Boats, 2 5-man jet bikes, 1 just normal troop, 1 Yvrain, 3 Hornets. Does this go on to... Oh, it does. 1 Ranger Squad. That didn't sound like 2,000 points.
Yeah.
1 Ranger Squad, 1 Warwalker with Star Cannon, 1 Eldrad, 1 Warlock Skyrunner, designed around engage and deploy scramblers. Cheers. Is Eldrad worth his points? I know this is a tangent, but it is related to the list.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you need the Farseer powers for in that list? I guess is my question. You can give... How big is the unit of Hornets?
There's 3 separate Hornets. Or maybe it's 1 unit of 3.
If it's 1 unit of 3, you can...
Oh, yeah, because there's a little...
Okay, so he could guide them and fortune them, which is cool. Or guide them and then doom something.
Yep.
So... Yeah, no, I think he's interesting. He's basically a +1 to cast Farseer, right? Because he gets the extra power. You just do Will of a Sermon, get +1 to cast, it's easy, and then you do the other 2. And the craft world side is relatively CP light, which is good. That's something I look at with a wary eye when you look at these mixed lists. Is you do have 2x5 bikes, which are going to be very CP heavy, and so you're losing CP because you're splitting, you're getting more detachments, things like that. But I think you're at a good balance.
Would you cut the Rangers? I know why they have the Rangers. They have the Rangers for Scramblers.
Yeah.
Because they deep strike for free.
Totally.
But would you cut the Rangers for any other unit and then just deep strike them like with a CP?
No, I like it because it's
you like Rangers?
It saves you CP. I almost put Rangers in today.
Wow.
I just happened to work out that I had room for the 20 Guardians, and then I put the Swooping Hawks instead of Rangers. But I actually had a single unit of Rangers. Honestly, after the LVN with JT's shenanigans with these small units of Drukhari characters dropping in, I was like, You know what? That reminds me how like why Scramblers is so powerful.
But like, what's the point difference between Swooping Hawks and? Oh, I guess one's troops and the other isn't. Never mind.
It's a slot thing.
It's
It's a slot thing.
All right, I get it.
And the Rangers are only 65 points for 5.
So many points.
I mean that they're yeah.
So many
That's
points.
so many points. But anyways, the Swooping Hawks are 80, so it's but it's a slot thing.
That's a steep
dude.
steep price to pay.
Welcome to Eldar.
Thanks, Miko. Since all the ranges in the game are scaled for 2,000 points, move, shoot, etc.,
Yeah.
makes sense to keep that board size and balance the missions and secondaries for 1,000 points.
Totally agree.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's one of our issues with 1,000 points is like you can charge your opponent turn 1 with most armies.
Yeah, they should have kept it on the same board size. I think if you want to play on a smaller board, that's what Kill Team is for. You know, I understand because like this is a weird table size, even at the smaller length.
Yeah.
It's still hard to play on like a dining table, so I understand the impetus of like, let's make it so people can play on a smaller table, but it just doesn't work. And I understand there's no way you would go in and give every profile 2 profiles for smaller games. So I would say, yeah, keep it on the same size and then just do Kill Team size or something else that's just fundamentally different for those small battles.
Thank you, Mike. When are you guys going to cosplay the armies you're piloting for us? Cosplay is an art. It's like a lot of work,
definitely an art form.
and it's something I've never done.
No.
I've been with people who have done it, but I've never done it. I don't know. You probably never done it.
I've not done it like actually. Like I've dressed up to go to like a Comic-Con or like Halloween, obviously, but I've never done like a nice one. You know what I'm saying?
It's like
because that is
a commitment.
that's good stuff right there.
It's like making an army.
However, if anyone wants to donate a suit of Space Marine armor and make Brian play the entire extreme in it, helmet on, I would support this.
Visor down.
Visor down. People are like, oh. It can't be me because I would take out the entire table.
You would destroy everything.
Yeah.
Thanks, Super Edie. Seeing as we have extra time for memes today.
We do.
Oh, I forgot to do the second meme. I should do the second
Let's
meme.
do it after this.
Can you both strike the pose of your favorite model? No tanks, obviously.
No tanks, obviously. You could do a tank. You could be like Demon Rust Commander. Ha! You know, take me closer so I may hit them with my sword. What's your favorite model?
Favorite model?
This is easy because it's got to be Custodes.
No, because like
Just look stoic.
in terms of models, Custodes are not that interesting. They're very like chunky boys.
Yeah.
And they're not posed super well because they're chunky boys.
Yeah.
You pretty much just. But that's also an orc.
God.
I don't know. Favorite model. Oh, Big Bird's cool.
Yeah. Big Bird's cool.
But how do I even? All right, so it's like right hand up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's amazing.
That's Big Bird.
I love it. I love it.
Who do you want to be?
Well, my actual answer, it's not the best one, but it's the truth. It's the Mangler Squig.
How would you be a Magnus?
All right, Bridget, you need to stand on my shoulders. Yeah. And then the guys on top are like, it's like that. There you go. Perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Second meme of the week. Here we go.
Meme of the week. There's been so many good memes this week. It was tough to even just pick 2, to be honest. But let's take a look.
All right. Thank you, Cersanos.
Ah, Cersanos.
Anytime Bridget gives advice to Adrian during a game, congratulations, you're being rescued. Please do not resist.
It's so appropriate. Because Bridget will like try to give me advice and help me, and like it's almost always like genuine, and it'll just like backfire every single time on me. He'll be like, "Oh, you should do this. Reroll this thing." I'll be like, "Yeah, all right, I'll do it. Fine."
What?
And then it's like, "Oh, turns out I needed that CP to reroll something else," or like, yeah.
I try to pose it as like a have you considered this? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Usually I'm just like teasing out your reasoning, like, hey, why didn't you do this thing? Because I would have done that thing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I should do that thing.
Yeah.
And then it never works.
It never works.
And we see in real time why you wouldn't have done that thing.
You're like, interesting. I'll take note of that. So yeah, thank you, Kirkanos.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Did I lose where I was? I think I did.
Oh, God.
Oh, well.
Gotta start at the beginning.
We have a lot of super chats to go, my friend.
Sounds good.
Wow.
That's funny.
Did I scroll?
People are just...
Oh, no, I scrolled into the past. That's why.
Okay.
That yeah. I scrolled really far into the past. How did I do that?
I am down to chat.
Did I? Yep, did those. Those are... Yep. I scrolled real far into the past. That's impressive.
Halflings were a unit in Empire armies in Warhammer Fantasy.
Okay, we did those. Yep. Oh, geez. Discord did that thing where it loads all the new ones and scrolls all the way to the bottom.
Hope everyone's having a lovely Saturday. I'm going to be working on my Dark Angels later on today. And probably some Edeneth.
Nope, I thought I found it. I didn't.
So.
Oh, I did find it. All right.
You ready for this?
All right. There we go. Live television. Thanks, Tomos? Maybe Tomas?
Thank you.
Tomos. I don't know. One of those has to be right? Hey, Titans. The Emperor's Children get a supplement. What would you expect? Want to see? Is wearing a thong a requirement?
Yes.
For some models, yes.
Wait, for the player. For the player playing the
like
you have to.
When the package arrives and you open the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And if you go to tournaments, you have to like the thong, got like, nipple stuff going on.
I've seen that too many times at tournaments.
Oh, no, I hate that. That's yeah. I'm just like, God, dude, you were just like,
yep.
Like, look at me. Like, yep. Come on.
It's always like they say they lost a bet.
Yeah.
That's always the answer.
Did you?
And then you start to wonder, why is it the same guy every year?
Yeah.
Like, how many times did you lose that bet, buddy?
Yeah, I know. There's also like dumb weird stuff where it's like, haha, look at me, I'm wearing pink and I'm a man. You're like, dude, what? Come on, man.
You are wearing clothing.
It is so trashy.
Excellent.
But anyways, I like the guy that goes around as a priest every year at LVO.
Or Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum?
That he shows up
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
There's a dude who dresses up as Ash Ketchum.
I totally missed that. What the heck? That's amazing.
SoCal, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I saw him at LVO.
Wow. Wait, was it you?
It was not me.
Okay. There was a question.
There was a question. Emperor's Children get a supplement.
Right.
What would you expect or want to see?
I mean, obviously, I want new Noise Marine kits.
Mm-hmm.
But also like other Noise Marine-y stuffs, right?
Yes.
So like, give us the Noise Marine. Like, I would love to see like not heavy intercessors, not aggressors, but like kind of conglomeration of them, where like chonky boys with big speakers and stuff. That'd be super cool. The Sonic Dreadnought from Forge World should make a return.
There needs to be a Sonic tank.
Yes, naturally. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
They could do so much with it, and like lots of customization, like all the different kinds of like drugs your guys can take, different musical instruments. Bring all of that back in. Oh gosh, it'd be dope. I'd be so excited. That's one of my like all-time armies. I'm really, really excited to have come back.
I'm sure it will.
In a way it's never been before. I guess.
One day it'll come back. Thank you, Kayotsuko.
There you go.
We're missing some vowels in there.
Yeah.
There's too many consonants in a row.
You tried to sound it out. That
was tough. Because all right. With Legends units not valid, what happens to the Sorcerer on Palanquin? Is most recent datasheet rule still valid? And can Morty get cheap warp time this way?
Can Morty get cheap warp time this way? Because of...
If you're trying to say competitively, the answer is no.
No, the answer is definitely no. There's no way... Can you get cheap warp time? No. I'm just going to say no. You can ally in Chaos Space Marine and warp time him. Mm-hmm. We thought / hoped that this didn't work because they easily could have done that. Mm-hmm. But he has Heretic... Actually, what my guess is... So here's the thing. So Morty has the Bubonic Astartes. He also has Heretic Astartes. Mm-hmm. That's what you need to be able to warp time. So you can currently warp time him. But I bet when the Chaos Space Marine book comes out, it will only work on whatever the other Astartes is that they make, right? And so for now it does work, but you have to bring in Chaos Space Marines. Mm-hmm. There used to be a way with the old Index in 8th edition that you could make it work, and it was weird and not strictly legal. And then there's a sub question inside of that, right?
Most recent datasheet rules. So this is about the Sorcerer on Palanquin.
Right.
If he went Legends, or he was Legends and then they took him off of Legends, but the datasheet doesn't exist anywhere. In either of these cases, you can't play him competitively.
Yeah, no. Yeah. If it's
not
in Legends,
Codex.
Yeah. If it's in Legends, but it's the newest datasheet, he's still Legends. Like that doesn't change.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And so if it's not in a Codex, if it's not you can't play it in 9th competitively.
Yeah, and it's got to be in the Forge World Compendium or in the book. Yeah. So sadly, no.
Excellent. Thank you, Skaven Clown Loach.
Welcome back.
One more. I also have 3K of painted Drukhari and haven't used varnish on any of my models.
Yeah.
I play once a week and never at home. Is varnish a must? And also, just want to say I love your content.
Oh, thank you. No, you don't have to at all. I have a ton of my armies that are not protected, not coded, just because, I've had them for many years and wasn't in the practice. And if you're careful with them, if they're at home and you don't travel with them, travel's the #1 thing, right? Even just being in foam will eventually wear off edges.
Never at home is what he said. He's always traveling.
Oh, Well, it's useful. I think it's pretty useful. Having said that, like I just said, I have a lot of my armies that are not, but
one thing I will say is Drukhari is a very fragile army, and you're going to break stuff and be touching up your models all the time anyway. So, like,
interesting.
If you are already investing the time into touching up your army on a regular basis, I might not worry about it, right? The varnish might get in your way when you touch it up.
That's my philosophy, actually, with all my models, is I'll just fix it later. You know, you can always patch them up. I don't worry about even if things break. It's like they're toys. I'll fix them.
It's really like a if you have a problem, solve it type deal. If you have paint chipping off a lot, varnish your models.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're breaking your models a lot. Don't varnish them. Repaint them when you reglue them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Totally. Yeah.
Thank you, Chad. Adrian, what would you like to see in the Orc Codex to make boys and knobs more durable?
More durable.
This is assuming that you want them to be more durable. Do you, first of all, want them to be more durable?
I would like them to they're kind of like witches for me. They either should be more durable or more killy, right? Currently, they are neither, really. Like, at range, with the Feel No Pain, with the Invuln, they can take wounds just for being toughness 4 bodies that are relatively cheap. But they're not truly tough, and they're not truly killy because they have no AP. And so I would be happy with either of these things getting improved. Either give them, I don't know, better armor or better Feel No Pain or like something, you know. I don't know if I necessarily want to give them 2 wounds because I think the Horde aesthetic also is important, but that's something they could do if they wanted to. Or make them killier. Like, there's no rend in any of these weapons, so like give them a rend or give like even more attacks. I can get a Goth boy with 6 attacks. It's still not enough, right? And so
I wouldn't give them more attacks if you're not giving them AP.
Yeah,
it's just insulting.
It's just useless.
You have like stupid numbers of attacks. You roll all these dice.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
The Space Marines with their 2-ups laugh at you.
Yeah.
And then you lose the game.
It's just not fun.
Don't give me more attacks. Give me better attacks.
There you go. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Alrighty, thanks, Carter. Hey, sort of a novice painter here. Any advice for painting a model in only grayscale, especially flesh?
Wow.
What a challenge.
That's tough.
Why?
I would take the main principle that I always take with my models, which is you start with the midtones, then you add your shadows and you add your highlights, right? So I think that first gray tone that you pick is going to be the most important. Personally, here's how I would do it. I would err on the side of a bit lighter, because then you're going to want to wash the whole thing in like probably a black wash. Get those crevices. So now you have your midtone, which is the lighter gray that's now washed, and then you have your shadows, which is the actual wash, and then you can go in and do highlights. You could dry brush, but this would only be on certain models, right? Because dry brush can look very dirty, but on a gray model, on certain things, it actually could look kind of like it could look nice, and that would be something approaching white, maybe not pure white, but very, very close. That's how I would do that. Unless you also, the other aesthetic, which you've probably seen, this is the like comic book aesthetic. There's the guy that did like the Inky Boys, some orcs in like cell shaded style.
They look good,
and that was really cool.
But that's
a lot of work. It's like every single line is hand painted. You can't do that. There's no like automated system for that, right?
Yeah.
So
what's a weird like? I'd never thought about it. Trying to grayscale an army.
Yeah.
Digitally, it's super easy, but like in real life, that's so hard.
Yeah, because you have to be able to differentiate the different colors, right? The different materials and just gray. I think it would look great with airbrush, personally. Like when I do an undercoat, it's just like, it just looks good, you know? Before I ruin it by like adding more paint. So, yeah, it's a cool challenge.
Alrighty, thanks, Double Double. Hey guys, why do y'all rate Sanguinary Guard over Vanguard Vets for Blood Angels? Vets with Lightning Claw and Storm Shield are cheaper, more durable, still very killy, and seem to play 9th better. They're not anywhere near as killy. You say they're still killy. They're not. Lightning Claws are great.
Yeah, they're good.
They're Strength 4 rerolling wounds.
-1 damage, only -2 rend. Sorry,
right, so
only 1 damage.
-2
rend. So it's less damage.
The swords go up to AP 4.
And Strength 5.
And Strength 5 with the +1 to wound.
Yep.
So you're wounding most things on 2s.
Yep.
And that's a huge difference.
And you have a 2-up save natively, which is important because, again, if your goal is to have...
the Storm Shield takes you to a 2-up.
Yeah, but then you only have 1 Lightning Claw, so you have even less attacks.
That's true.
So you're either losing one or the other, and Sanguinary Guard is like the best of both worlds, really.
And then -1 to hit in combat, which makes them even more durable.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
And
they're both good. Don't get us wrong.
yes, and they get full rerolls next to a warlord. Your warlord. So Vanguard vets, you'd have to chapter master them to get that kind of buff. And whereas Sanguinary Guards, like you have 3 squads of Sanguinary Guard, cool. They're all full rerolls next to your warlord. So again, it's not that Vanguard vets are bad. It's just Sanguinary Guard we feel like are more efficient in all the ways that we just mentioned. So
yeah, the army is not lacking for hammers. You can say that.
Both literally and figuratively.
They're all right. They're all. I mean, there's 3 great hammers. You have Sanguinary Guard.
Yep.
You have Blood Men, Death Company.
Yep. Blood Men. That's good.
And you have Vanguard vets.
Yeah.
You're not maxing out on any of these.
Yeah.
They're all good options. You can or you're not maxing out on all of them. You will max out on some of them, but you can mix your choice to your liking. That's you, man.
And those are just the fast ones. The comparable fast ones. Right. Like Blade Guard vets are amazing.
So good. Yep.
And
everything.
Arguably more durable than everything.
Yeah, you could take anything in Blood Angels and they're good at fighting.
Eradicators in melee.
Inceptors. Not bad in melee with Blood Angels.
That's the funny thing. Like Inceptors, already bananas, but like Inceptors in Blood Angels and in White Scars, even better in White Scars, but they're just like, yeah, we all have -1 rend in that, and then +1 wound or 2 damage with White Scars, and so they can just like slap and fight and do everything. It's like so silly. Everything gets upgraded. So too many good options.
Too many good options. Thanks, Gergely.
Thank you.
Gergely? Gergely. Yeah. Where do we go? Hey guys, as a Craftworld main, I love my aspect warriors. What role would you give to each of the aspects, and how would you make them good at it?
Okay.
A lot of aspects.
We're gonna rapid fire this, yeah? So,
Dark Reapers are good at shooting.
Shooting.
Boom.
At range.
Yes.
Fire Dragons.
Good at shooting.
At close.
Close up.
But like mega damage.
Yep.
Yep. Swooping Hawks.
Fast.
Yep. They're fast. They deep strike. Right?
And they should, I think, in my head, they should be cheap.
I would take them cheaper rather than more specialized, for sure. Striking Scorpions.
They're fighting. Deep strike fighting. They should
Deep strike fighting.
They ambush you.
Yeah. Maybe a close range ambush or a bonus to charge when you come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a guaranteed charge. That would be cool.
Guaranteed charge would be cool. And then adjacent to them is Howling Banshees.
Ooh. See, the identity for Howling Banshees has moved over the years.
Yeah.
That's tough.
To me, they are they're Repentia to me.
Right.
They're fast moving, still turn off Overwatch, and just shred anything they touch. They're going to die, but they're going to just murder people.
So how do we differentiate them from Striking Scorpions?
Striking Scorpions, again, it's more about their ability to deep strike and infiltrate and pop up and cover. And
so maybe Striking Scorpions come out like 4 or 5 inches away when they deep strike,
Mhm.
and they have that nice easy charge, still pretty lethal, still die afterwards. Whereas Banshees are fast, don't deep strike, no Overwatch, hit really hard, then die.
Yeah, like they're Repentia, and Striking Scorpions are like infiltrating intercessors.
Yeah.
Right?
What's left? Oh, Warp Spiders.
Warp Spiders. Really crafty, just board control, board scoring, right? They can deep strike, they cannot deep strike. Their guns have always been contentious in the past, so I'm not sure about that. But their main thing is, the fact that they teleport, they jump around. They're really sneaky, hard to pin down.
Yeah.
And Shadow Specters.
They're not a real. That's Forge World. That doesn't count.
I think that's all of them then. Well, Dire Avengers are
men. They're men.
They're tough to balance in the current edition. Yeah.
They're just men.
They're just reliable. They should be good.
How are they better than Guardians? That's the question.
Yes.
They're not. Because the role they're filling, Guardians fill by being cheaper.
I like the fact that you can get an invuln on them easily. I would make them a bit killier, so that, again, it's like, you take blobs of Guardians, or you take small, efficient squads of Dire Avengers. Currently, the Dire Avengers are just bodies. Yeah. And that's really sad. So they need to be a bit killier, a bit more flexible. Like, they're the all-rounders, right? And the Guardians are like the hammers that drop in. So there you go. Did it.
We did them all. Probably. Thanks, Famous Oaks. I know nothing about Marines and dislike 90% of the chapters, so Death Watch it is. What are the must-takes, and what weapon on heavy intercessors?
Ooh.
Well, must-takes, you want all the Primera stuff as Death Watch. All of it.
Yep.
Not Hellblasters.
No.
But you want your normal intercessors, you want your heavy intercessors, you want your Outriders.
Yep.
You want your Inceptors.
Yep.
You want your Eradicators.
Yep.
You even want your Blade Guard vets. Aggressors are okay.
They're fine.
Is that everything? No Hellblasters. We don't like those.
No. and then you take in your HQs, you take a librarian because they have amazing powers.
Mm-hmm.
You take a chief apothecary because they're amazing. That's an elite slot, and then you also take either a captain or a lieutenant with a storm shield, which you then take the relic version that gives a 5+ invuln in a bubble or something, or kill
the Indomitus shield, the
whatever their
I know what
crazy
you're talking
relic
about. The
is.
Captain America shield.
Yeah.
It used to be 5+ invuln in an aura. Now it's 5+ invuln in an aura and does something else. It just got better.
Yeah, it's really good. That's what I build. Yep. Personally, I like 2 Indomitor, 2 regular ones, whatever. 2 big boys, 2 intercessor size. Yeah, and check out our death watch video that goes more into it, more in depth into this, and we actually give a sample list, which I still stand by. They got hit super hard by the points changes, right? Because it was like, oh, you're fine with the points changes unless you like spammed out all these units. And you look at Death Watch, like that's our whole army, right? So it'll be a bit different, but check that out. That'll give you a much more in-depth kind of overview of what we think is interesting and good to take.
And what weapon on the heavy intercessors? Just the normal gun, right?
Just the rapid fire. You know, you're going to be moving. You want to stay mobile. You don't have a way to ignore it, really. They're just like bodies and they're reliable. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Daniel. I'm trying to teach a friend 40k based on the Indomitus box. I think flesh was a mistake. So any recommendations for 500 points of the Marine side?
Flesh was a mistake?
What does that mean?
Wait, let me see.
It just says flesh was. It's up here. I think flesh was a mistake. I don't
know.
So
500 points.
Flesh terrors. He might mean flesh terrors.
Oh, was this the previous? Anyways, flesh terrors.
No, well.
Let us know in chat, guys. I have the chat pulled up if you can help with that. And I also see you're answering questions about why we're not playing the game right now. Thank you for helping us out. Let's come back to that one.
Yeah, Yep, flesh was a mistake. Thanks, Tropcat. Can the Scathach Wraith Knight use Webway Shunt?
Webway Shunt?
I don't even know what Webway Shunt is.
The strat to go to a Webway portal? Which,
The question is, does he have the Wraith Knight keyword? That's really what they're asking.
Okay.
I think there's a thing that lets Wraith Knights go to the Webway portal or something.
Yeah.
And it's called, oh, here we go, Craft World! I'll find it, don't worry. Scathach does not have the Wraith Knight keyword. He has the Scathach Wraith Knight keyword, so none of your strats will work.
That's lame.
But he does have a Webway Shunt generator.
Yeah, so he has his own shunt, which he can use. Yeah.
Yeah, he returns to the Webway. You don't even have to use a strat or whatever. He just has it.
Yeah.
It's on his data sheet.
Yeah, so he still has that, if that's the question. I also had a clarification, basically saying that he's playing the Necron side, because the flesh is a mistake.
Ah, It was a joke, and we took it literally, like we always do.
Nothing goes over our heads. We would catch it.
We're pretty bad at this.
So back to that question. So you're playing the Necron side, and the question is,
any recommendations for 500 point of the Marine side? So we're gonna take the Indomitus box and only bring 500 points of it, not 1,000.
Because it's about 1,000.
Yeah, I think that box was 1,000 points on each side.
So some of the Eradicators are not busted in that matchup. If you think
I would cut them.
You cut them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's a lot of points
they don't
for
do much. They don't do anything interesting, right?
The Blade Guard are interesting. The Outriders are interesting. Assault Intercessors are interesting. Really, other than the Eradicators, you can bring any of it as long as you can make a detachment.
If you're getting it down to 500, I would just keep the captain, cut the lieutenant, cut the chaplain. That's getting closer. You're still not quite at 500. Play with just those essential core units. They're fun. They'll give some play on both sides, and I think it's interesting.
The Space Marine player will be frustrated at that point level about reanimation.
Yeah.
20-man warrior blobs. Unless you play as 2/10s. 2/10s, I think, could be okay.
I played as 2/10s.
You could kill.
Because that would be nuts otherwise. So yeah, no, that'd be fun. That's right, I forgot, because there's a lot of stuff you get in that box set.
A lot of stuff in that box.
Great box.
It's a good box.
So thank you for the clarification. Sorry, we missed that.
We thought it was an Iron Hands reference. That's what I went to.
It was kind of an Iron Hands, yeah. It's a Necron thing. They share that thought.
All right, thanks, Bobson. Since GW is getting rid of the sub 9-inch deep strikes and 3d6 charges, do you think Custodes will lose? That's a lot of letters. Their
Vexilla strat.
Yep, but there's no V's in here.
Oh, and what about the Dreadhost 3d6 charge?
That's probably one of these. I don't know. It's too many letters. And to be fair, D3 is better than 2 damage against -1 damage. Yes.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Flat 3 damage. Boom. Custodians deserve flat 3 damage.
On
Don't even...
all their weapons?
No. Axes. Fists. That's it.
Okay. Well, because the spears are 2 damage, right?
The spears are D3.
Oh, they are D3. So what would you keep them at?
They can go to 2.
Go to 2?
I would prefer the consistency.
No, yeah, most of the time
I know it's
better.
worse against -1 damage.
Yeah.
That's fine, so long as I have a tool against -1 damage, which would be the axes and fists.
That's true. That's true. Because it's tough because right now 2 damage is bad because Death Guard is popular and Wild,
Dark Angels.
yeah, and Blood Angels, and yeah, so Dark Angels. And by the time this Custodian's books comes, things could shift, right? We even saw like Death Guard where like they came out and we're like, oh my god, this is ridiculous, like all this crazy stuff. And the Dark Angels come out and like have direct answers to Death Guard that then keeps Death Guard on the toes. And so this is all a meta question. It's all shifting. And so the 2 damage is still good against most armies and will be good again, especially as the meta sort of gets diluted, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then the charge stuff. I think the Vixilla could go away, but I don't know that the Dread Host would go away because that one's not a guarantee. It's just a better charge. The Vixilla is. That's a good question. What do you think?
I don't know.
Because that's like pretty egregious.
I think it'll change, but I can't see them getting rid of it entirely because that is what the Vexilla is for. Like in lore, it is a beacon.
What if it was like a +3 to charge? So he comes up,
like
they come in.
Fluff-wise, it doesn't make sense.
That's a beacon. It's still homing them closer. You can deep strike 6 inches instead of because then that changes the math on it too. It's still quite reliable.
Still very reliable, yeah.
Very, very reliable. That's tough.
I don't know. I don't know how they will solve it, but it would hurt me if they just took it away entirely.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like that would be a massive blow to the Custodes Codex. Like gameplay wise, fluff wise, just everything, it would hurt.
Yeah.
Don't do that, James.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to hurt my feelings, would you?
Yeah. They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do
It's
that.
not like the Dark Angels lost theirs. I'm scared for you all of a sudden.
Don't say things.
I hadn't even considered that it could go
away. Don't say
away.
things like
I'm
this.
sorry. We'll see.
No. Like, give me advance in charge. I'll take it. It's a trade. It's a good trade.
Okay, White Skies.
Thank you, Evan. Been running 3 squads of Max Scarabs with 3 Chronomancers for 5 up invuln.
Yeah.
3 squads of Wraiths and Melee Destroyers. Pre-game move and OBSEC. What are your thoughts?
I think it's great.
That's one of the good lists that we've been talking about.
It's really, really great. I think Death Guard are going to give you a run for your money now, right? Yeah. This is the Necron, one of the Necron lists that's most challenged by the
Dark Angels.
And Dark Angels. Well,
they'll both just fight you for midboard and you'll lose.
That's true. That's true. I think DA matchup is better than the Necron matchup because you just have OBSEC. Like the Dark Angels will have a tougher time like removing you. Truth be told.
You're both OBSEC then, and the Dark Angels will turn off your. I guess you don't have any auras.
It's not an aura.
You don't have any auras.
It's all OBSEC. Yeah. So it's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. But overall, it's a great list. It's a great army.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Very strong. One of the better Necron builds.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry. What's the best loadout for a 5-man squad of knobs? I want to give them all double kill saws and put them in a truck. Worried I'm missing about some super sauce.
Ooh, I think the double kill saws get really expensive. So I personally just like the single saw. And assuming these are knobs, or wait, they're
knobs.
If they're mega knobs, double saw. If they're no, it has to be double saw then.
5-man squad of knobs.
Because the ones outside can't actually take double saw.
Regular knobs can't take double saw? I
don't think so. I
think you're correct.
Yeah.
But if they're regular knobs, saw choppa, you do that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Because they just died with Stiff Breeze for mega knobs double saw, and in both cases, a wall banner can be interesting, but you really want to make sure you're getting other things out of it, right? So not just the 5-man, but if you have it's good for boys, it's good for other things around. So that's something to kind of think about. It depends how it fits into the overall composition of your army, but no, I don't think you're missing any special sauce, really. No, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Got a league to play. I have a choice of clowns. Space Wolf 12 Thundercav and 9 Blade Guard for ABC. Could be fun. And the Golden Boys. Advice on what to play. I got lost because you said you have a choice of clowns. And then you said a bunch of things that aren't clowns.
I think it's clowns, a specific Space Wolf build, or Custodes.
That makes sense.
Or you're calling both those other armies clowns.
Well, I mean, you know.
I mean, I tend towards Harlequins, but if you're worried about doing well in the league, they have bad matchups currently. And I don't know. What would you like as an all-rounder that needs to be able to deal with anything? If you have flexibility to build, if it's that kind of league, then I still like Harlequins, because if you're going up against DG, then you go Soaring Spite with fusions. If you're not, then you can play the other kind of more melee build. So if that's the case, I'm still going to vote for my boys, the Harlequins.
All three of these armies have a really, really tough time with Dark Angels and Death Guard. So that's what's got me. I'm stuck.
Right. You're like, which one?
I keep thinking like, oh, these are really bad matchups, and these are going to show up everywhere.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Because these are like three flavors of the same thing. We have like spicy ABC, tangy ABC,
umami ABC.
Right? Like it's all the same. You pick three different armies that do the same.
Yeah.
They're like elite, chargy, board control-y, mid-board type armies that are not. They're all durable, but they're not Death Guard, Dark Angel durable.
So Custodies are the most resilient to having their auras turned off. They don't care that much.
They don't really have any.
I think the Harlequins actually have overall an okay matchup against Dark Angels, because you get reroll all wounds. Now you need to be careful because they can turn off that specific aura.
They can also turn off your Shadow Seer and just kill all your guys.
You have to pick one.
Yeah, you pick the Shadow Seer.
Pick one aura.
Kill all the oh, you pick.
You turn off one aura ability. It's not turn off all auras.
Isn't it the same aura though that gives two things? It's the same ability that gives -1 to wound. And...
Oh yeah. But I'm saying you can't turn off. Then you're not turning off the Troop Masters. Then you come in and you're also scary.
Right. Yeah. So I would just turn off the Shadow Seer and then kill all your troops.
So maybe you run double Shadow Seer in that matchup.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a tech.
If this is a league, I think Harlequins can tech into each matchup.
I dig it. No, yeah, go Harlequins.
Cool.
I'm sold. Thanks, Casey. Bridger, if you ask them, Subway will put the sauce, white veggies on the side. No more soggy sandwiches. I learned this when I was taking the bus between school and 3 jobs. Yeah. You see, I'm the kind of person who will just do the same thing forever and complain about it forever.
Like your squeaky chair.
Which is no longer squeaky, by the way.
I think because you broke it, probably.
We're good. We're good.
Oh my god.
No, honestly, like, as much as I complain about soggy Subway, I do like soggy.
You like soggy Subway?
Like, I keep eating it for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. I hope so.
Yeah. But thank you.
It's appreciated.
You've shown interest in my life.
If he wasn't as lazy as he is,
and that is hard.
It would work.
It would work. I mean, there's like a myriad of solutions. I could just make a sandwich, and it would be cheaper. I could make it better.
That's why I don't like getting sandwiches when I go out. I'm like, I can make a sandwich at home. You know, it's that kind of thing. I don't even like getting steaks at a restaurant. Like, obviously, they'll make a better steak than me, but, like, I can cook a decent steak at home. I'm like, when I go to a restaurant, I want to eat something that I can't cook at home, you know? Give me something on the grill.
I get pasta at restaurants all the time, but it's egregious.
Pasta's the same thing for me, exactly.
Egregious.
Unless it's, like, a really nice, well, even Italian pasta, it's still, like, okay. It won't be as good, but, like, I could do it. Like, ramen's great. Can't really do, like, the same ramen, right?
Oh, I don't know. $1.25, you can make some good ramen.
Yeah. The secret is actually you do use the cheap stuff, but you enhance it
with like eggs and stuff.
That's the way you do it. Yeah.
All right, thanks again, Martin. So I finished my dinner and my wine. You amazing people are still going strong. How's the painting going on Adrian's new Dark Angels?
Going very, very well, actually. I've been working on them a bit throughout the week. My Inceptors are pretty much all done. I found a nice. I really love the ones that Izzy did, the ones that we've had on the channel. Yeah. They were a very different kind of style, and so I didn't do quite as poppy as him, but I found a nice kind of olivey kind of green on top of Caliban green. So I've got that. I have. I'm about to finish 5 of my Deathwing Terminators, and I just primed a bunch of my command squads. My custom Azrael is almost done, and yeah, so it's chugging right along. Honestly, I think another week or two, and I will be channel ready.
That's soon.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been like really inspired by them.
I can't wait for people to tell me to play them.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait for you to play them the first time on channel.
For you to play them?
No, you.
Thanks. Moniker 1, Gentle Beings, I want to paint the Sanguinary Guard as silver instead of gold. Suggestions on how to do this. Ooh. Also, status on the Silent King. We just got status on the Silent King today. It's almost done.
Yes, he is almost done. And we'll hopefully get the rest of them soon. So he's looking good.
Painting silver.
Silver. So I actually find silver not too bad to do. You can do them. You always wash it in Nolan oil, and be careful not to wash it too much if you want to keep them nice and sharp, which you probably do.
You would start with a bright silver and then dull it down.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go back over it and you edge highlight in that bright silver, gives them that little like
sheen.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll look really sleek. They have a lot of nice edges on them, and so that's what I would do. Just keep it simple, honestly. I don't. If you're doing an airbrush, you could do some fades with a little black to the silver, but generally speaking, I leave my silver just with a wash, and that's it.
You know what you can do with silver sanguinary guard that I think would look tacky on gold sanguinary guard?
Okay, yeah.
Bleeding eyes.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think that would look really cool on silver, and it would look tacky on gold.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's
so you should try that. It's probably not easy to do, but
yeah.
I'm tasking you with attempting this.
I like it.
Ruining one model.
That'll be really cool. Post it in the hobby channel in Discord.
Yes. Wait, ping me, and I want to see it.
Yep.
Thank you, Kyle. Hey, Titans. Hey. Currently painting my sisters and realize they are pretty much Space Wolf color theme with all red hair. What should I call my order?
That's really cool. Order of the Wolf Rose.
Order of the Fanged
Rose.
No.
The Fanged Lilies. I know I have to be a flower.
They're like aren't flowers.
Every rose has its thorn. Ooh. That's the whole thing.
I'm trying to think like what's like an Icelandic flower, like a Northern European.
I'm sure we have our Northern Europeans in chat.
Anything you say is gonna sound derpy though. Like the fanged.
The Fanged Garden Rose.
The fanged lily. It's like
the fanged lily. It's a little angsty. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I couldn't come up with a name, Kyle, but it should have fanged in it.
The Bloody Wolf. The Bloody Blooders? The Wolfy Bloody Puppies? There you go.
Nailed it. Thanks, Alexandros. Get some chairs, please. I suffer watching you. We have mats to stand on.
Yeah.
And I got gel inserts for my shoes.
Oh, that's cheating. I was going to say, how do you like the mat?
That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I stand over there.
You know.
For pretty much the entire thing.
They help, but...
Yeah. Gel inserts really do help.
I know. I need to get some new shoes.
Just try it. Yeah. No, you don't. It doesn't have to be new shoes. They replace the insole.
Yeah, but I could do both.
You could do both. Those do look like comfy shoes though.
They're tennis shoes.
I'm wearing worn out. Vans, which are not good for standing all day. Well, where was I? Thanks, Sugar Water Apple. Just Sugar Water Purple.
That's great. I love it.
Just started 40K. Absolutely hate painting and gluing Eldar Guardians and Dire Avengers. Yeah. Do you think GW will update the mold this year? Do I think they will update the mold? Yes. This year? I don't know.
I wouldn't count on it. But as per my previous statement, I think when they do Eldar, they will redo them because I expect them to do sweeping changes to them. So
we'll probably see a whole new line.
Yeah.
Primaris Eldar. Calling it now.
That'd be amazing.
We called Primaris Sisters.
Oh my god.
We're going to get Primaris Eldar.
You want to place that bet? Yeah?
Yes.
That's another tough one because I actually do want more Guardians. I only have 20. And the blocks of 20 are great, but I'm like, I don't want to build and paint them. And they're so old. They're the same ones that I built when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh they're almost like our age. They're old.
They are.
Ugh. James, get on it.
I feel for you.
Thank you, Josh. Since we mentioned Reavers again, do you think that a way to fix them would be to make them troops? In the fluff, they're essentially Primaris Scouts after all. Nope. There are better troops. That wouldn't help. What they need is to do something that other units don't do.
Right.
And right now, everything they do, there's another unit that's better. So if their grapnel launchers gave them extra mobility,
they do technically.
Be something.
They do. Not the right kind, though.
Not the right kind.
They give you verticality in an edition where verticality actually doesn't mean very much.
It's harmful often.
It's harmful, yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, I would make them troops. But then I would also make their flashbangs actually work at 12 inches. So if that was a troop that could deep strike, drop in, and debuff a unit, that would be cool.
All right.
If it was just that. Like, that's a great start.
Yeah. Yeah. But they need something more than just troops. They need to do...
No, I agree. I think just troops is not enough because, like, you're still taking assault intercessors, infiltrators.
Right.
You know,
we have intercessors, assault intercessors, heavy intercessors,
what's the stabby
infiltrators, incursors.
Yeah.
Incursors. 5 amazing troop choices.
Yeah. The incursors are the main... Well, yeah.
Reavers will be end of the line in that list.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you, Sam. What do you think or hope will happen with a new Grey Knights Codex? It's tough because they're already so complicated.
They're so complicated.
That if we layer more rules on them, like my go-to answer is more psychic trees or more powers that do interesting things. And like, they already have a million powers.
Yeah, they're so complicated. I think they need to, adjust and fix all their weapons. Obviously, give them that kind of Space Marine treatment.
Primaris Grey Knights, calling it now.
Yeah, the thing they specifically said they wouldn't do. I wouldn't put it past them.
That's a classic James name, though.
They're like, we'll never do this. We're doing it. It's happening. I would honestly get rid of their... Again, same thing I said before with Thousand Suns. Get rid of all this smite nonsense, especially the 2 damage smites. It's like, one, it's actually not the most competitive way. And it's not fun for anyone. And so just get rid of that. Give them other... give them the boost. I agree with Bridger. Yeah. They have enough rules as it is. So make them just flat out better in a few specific regards. Yeah. I
mean, if you want...
They're going to get more complicated no matter what, though.
If you want an example of magic done right, or like psychic done right, you look at AOS, where all the spells, like every character has his own signature spell.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's on his data sheet, which makes it easier.
Yeah.
And it makes your wizards feel like they have character, they have shape.
Yeah.
They do a thing that other people don't do. Grey Knights are lacking that. All of them have the same spells.
Right.
And you have a hard time remembering which squad had what. Like, I have
horrible
3 of this squad, and these guys had Hammerhand, and these guys had Gate. Did these guys have Gate? Like, that's a dumb thing to be worrying about when you're a psychic faction. Just give them all the powers, or give them unique powers, but don't. Yeah. Like each unit could have a power. Like Purgation squads have this power. Like the Interceptors have this other power, right? Just give every squad a signature power. Boom! Get on it, James.
Well, there you go.
Am I going backwards? No, I'm not. Thanks to that guy, Brad. Wish list for Orc Codex. Mine, +1 to wound to Orc Infantry or Bikes. -1 AP Choppa. Faction ability like AOS Big Wah. Good talk day.
Those are great.
Talk day. Today's talk day.
Talk day.
This is longer than a normal game.
I know.
Q&A.
I was like, I'm going to get to go home early. Nope. Yeah, those all sound like amazing changes, and I don't think that would be unreasonable, to be honest. That's great.
They do need all those buffs.
They do.
They need AP. They need +1 to wound because they're strength 4.
Yeah.
And
well, is it +1 to wound or +1 wound?
+1 wound on Orc Infantry and Bikes, which they also need because they're way too squishy.
Yeah.
But does that push knobs up to 3 wounds? They can't be like Terminators.
Knobs, of course knobs can be like Terminators. They're still wearing like t-shirts. Like their heavy armor is a 4+8.
What are you gonna say? Mega knobs have 4 wounds?
Yes.
What?
I would even go so far and make them toughness 5.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Get out of here.
Come on.
Don't be ridiculous, Adrian. You need to manage your expectations.
I know. It's like, so Mega knobs are like Terminators. They're like, no. So why don't they have invulns? Oh, no, because they're not really like Terminators. Okay, so they should be T5. Oh, no, because Terminators don't get +1 toughness. Like, okay. I don't know, James.
They lose on both sides.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Thanks again, Cobra Commander. Proto merch idea, a Jacaro, working on something with the caption, "That's bananas." Also, Bridger, it's fine that you can't use the hand cam. Oh, cute.
Thanks, Cobra.
Yeah, I shut everything down. I didn't even turn that light on.
Wow. You were just like ready to get out of here. Yes, that sounds amazing. That's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
All right, that's an old reference.
People
were like poking fun at me for singing that the other day.
Really? We're old now.
Don't say that. I don't want to be old. Thanks, Josh. Since you mentioned it earlier, is buttless chaps. You hyphenated that in a strange way. Is buttless chaps Sigvald the greatest detail GW has ever added to a model, or do you have something you like more?
Ooh, no, it's probably the best, but I do have 2 other ones specifically. One is the maggots inside the pipes of the Plague Marines. You'll never see it. Yes. That's amazing. And then on the bottom of the shock jump dragsta, there's 2 slabs of wood, and like it's actual like fine grained wood. And I was like, what is this detail? You'll never even see it. I don't even know what that means. And someone told me this is because in drag racing, this is something that they do where they have wood underneath, and it's to measure like how close to the road you are coming, how much that gets shaved off or not shaved off. And so it's this amazing detail. So cool. They'll either A, not know what it's referring to, or B, you're never going to see it because it's at the bottom of your racer. And I'm like, That's amazing.
That might win.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Thank you, Prito.
Thank you.
What do you think will be the impact of the next Craft World LR Codex? Big changes or not so much?
I think it's going to be massive
It
changes.
has to be an overhaul.
They need it.
They can't play 9th.
They can't.
They're playing a different game.
Yeah.
Everything's overcosted, underperforms, and dies.
Mm-hmm.
They need a drastic overhaul, and if they don't get it, the faction will be dead on arrival.
Yeah. And this was something that was encouraging about the Death Guard book. Necrons, obviously, but they got a whole new line. The Death Guard book redesigned many units. So that's really cool to see that they're not afraid to do that when they think it's necessary. So that actually gave me a lot of confidence in their ability to redo the Craft World. Because the Space Marine stuff, it was like, cool. The core stuff didn't really change, right? But with Death Guard, we saw that they will absolutely do that. So yeah, I expect it.
Awesome, thanks. Thanks again, Tropcat. Just to clarify, can it use its ability on turn 1? Probably not.
Oh, I see.
Is it a deep strike thing?
No, if it's on the table.
Yes. Redeploys are fine. So yeah, I can probably do it.
It depends if it says it leaves the table and it comes. Well, no.
It would have to go into reinforcements specifically and then come back, because you can't come in from reinforcements. So if it sends it to reinforcements, which I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. It's deep strike. But let's take it out. Thank you for clarifying. Sorry, you had to super chat again.
Hey man, it's the day of super chats.
Yeah.
Today's your day. If you were saving up to super chat, today's your day. It can return to the webway, remove this model from the battlefield, and the reinforcement steps you want. Oh, you can't do it because it puts it into your.
No, it just says during the reinforcement step. It's not in reinforcements. That's when
you remove it from the battlefield.
Yeah.
In the reinforcement steps of one of your subsequent movement phases.
Oh.
Subsequent being a functioning keyword there. He can come off the table, and then next turn you put him back down.
Right.
No matter what turn it is. Like turn 3,
yeah,
you can pick him up. You can't come back down turn 3 because it says subsequent move phase, which means not this one.
And it says your move phase, right?
I don't think
you can't come in during the. That would mean you have to come in during your opponent's move, though.
No, it could be.
In the subsequent move phase would be.
I think it's in a subsequent move phase.
Oh. Well, that's better than the next one.
I think it's just any future.
But yeah, so regardless, he's going to look at that thing, but you can't do a turn 1, basically. Because of the way they worded it.
One of your subsequent move phases.
Oh, okay, cool. So you don't have to come in next turn. You probably will, because you don't want to waste a 400-point model. But you unfortunately can't. It's not a true shunt.
It means you lose a whole turn.
Oof.
No matter what you do, you at least lose a whole turn. Because you take him out in the move phase, and he doesn't come back till a future move phase.
Yeah.
So you're losing a shoot, charge, psychic.
Yeah. So it's not really a shunt.
Fight.
It's meant to just be like, it used to be used to just get you out of a tough spot in combat and come back down the next turn. So there you go.
There you have it. Thanks, Tobias. Love the content. My Custody struggle against Morty. Idea, Stasis Oubliette on a captain to debuff Morty, and then 3 to 4 shield guys tag him for a few turns. Is this silly?
No. What's the Oubliette do, though?
I don't remember. It's one of the newer.
Okay.
It's one of the newer relics that was like too situational to ever take. It's like a character can't. I don't know. Should I Google it?
You can pull it up. I'll start to answer because I think to a point you have to have enough volume of bodies on him, right? Because unfortunately he still has 7 attacks, and so he can do 7 big swings or a million smaller swings and be fairly effective at taking out your big bikes and things like that. So I don't know the math, but it might be the smaller swings are better because of the invul and saves. But if you have enough volume, you can hold him down. The problem is there's the rest of the Death Guard army that will be good at running up and doing a bunch of little plink hits against you. So that's my concern. Yeah.
Okay, you pick a character within 3.
Okay.
You have their attacks and you reroll 1s to win against them.
Is it once per game or every turn?
It's every turn. But it's a character within 3.
So you'd have to because you don't want.
Do you do it in command phase? Because that would be even worse. What's the timing on it?
And that character can't be in combat with him because otherwise he just gets targeted.
Right. At the start of each fight phase.
So it's almost like it's tough. Like you want like the bikes and him next to them, but non-combat, which kind of sucks.
No, I think like if you put it on a bike captain, and you're already having Mortarian's attacks, you would be happy for Mortarian to put his only half attacks in your bike captain. And he's like, lol. Like
and
bike captain
transhuman then, right?
I don't even need to. You have a 3-up invuln, and a 5-up Feel No Pain. Oh, you can't have a 3-up Invul because it's your relic. Nope, it's poop. Sucks. What character can you put in combat that's going to survive? A dude with a shield? You can put it on a dude with a shield.
Yeah.
Who will then have a 3-up Invul.
Yeah.
But he's going toe-to-toe with Mortarion. You're not going to kill Mortarion in one activation.
No, that's not the goal. This is the tar pit strat, I believe. Or tactic.
And so Mortarion will just kill your shield guy. And then you lose.
Yeah.
And Mortarion has Psychic, let's not forget. So if you're planning to tar pit him for multiple turns, and he can fly away, or sit there and smite your character and then kill whatever else was tying him up.
Yeah. Him flying away is good for you, though. Because that offsets him. You've turned him off for a turn.
You buy a turn.
Which is important.
But he's much faster than you. You buy a turn, and then your shield guy...
Oh, then you're gone foot. Yeah. No, he goes 12, you go 6, and then you have a 6 in charge. Well, it could be like a...
He goes 12, and then there's Poxwalkers between you and him.
Which you kill with your Hurricane Bolters. Which you're also taking.
You shouldn't have Hurricane Bolters. I don't know. It's an idea. It's an idea. I think you're going to have to stretch for things like this to beat Mortarion as Custodies.
Yes.
Because you're just not going to... Otherwise, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
You have to make these wild leaps.
Yeah. Well, that's like we said in the How to Beat Mortarion video. It's like, these are all the ways, but then a lot of them are still like, this is a way that you have play, right? You have a chance. So
there's a sliver of an opportunity.
Yeah, get out there, give it a try.
Thank you, Matthew. I really like the new Jane Czar and Banshee models, but they don't seem great on paper. What's the best way to use them on the table?
Yeah. They're not great on paper.
Well, they're great as paperweights, which is being on paper.
That's true. The funny and sad thing is I found Banshees to be the best at removing small chaff units. Yeah. Like guardsmen, I don't know. Because they can project themselves very quickly, and they have all the amazing pylon and everything. So you want to go for targets that are like here, for example. I have an objective here, and there's line of sight blocking terrain. I could throw them out, take the point, and like kind of pile towards the cover right here. That's the best use because they just can't get through anything that is tough, like at all. I do like giving the sergeant, the executioner blade. I was trying to use the correct word, but whatever. Because it's
Hexatrix?
No, that's something else. That's a dark elf thing. Dark Eldar thing. Anyways, so I like giving you the executioner because it makes her have a little bit more punch, but otherwise it's like they're too low of strength, even with the new power sword upgrade, to really get through much of anything. You can maybe kill intercessors with the new power sword rules because now you're winning on 4s, not 5s.
Whoa!
But yeah, that's a unit that I have high hopes for in the new book whenever that happens. So, yeah.
I think it's funny. This is just another reinforcing point to the fact that there's 2 games of Warhammer going on.
Yeah.
They're good at killing like other Eldar, orcs, Tyranids.
Yeah.
Like it's Tau.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 games going on here.
Exactly.
The haves and the have-nots.
It's true.
Yeah. Thanks again, Alexandros. Bravo, Adrian. I'm Italian and hate eating at the restaurant unless it's ethnic. Unrelated, I want 2 unpopular opinions from each. Mine is ATVs are cool. That was his. His is the ATVs.
I like it, yeah. And thank you, I totally understand. My mom's from France, so I'm used to like doing that home cooking. That's like very, in the US, it's like, you go out to eat like that way. But it's like, no, this is like what you do at home, like with your family. So I can appreciate that. Unpopular opinion. You have lots of those.
I say them all the time, but I don't catalog them. I just say them.
You think Talon Masters are bad? We all know that.
Worst model in the game, Talon Master. There's an unpopular opinion.
Flying Edbutt is good for the game.
No, you don't believe that.
No, I don't.
Get out.
I don't. I don't know. Do I have nothing comes to mind immediately.
We all have unpopular opinions, but we don't like file them away under like remember unpopular opinions.
We're very positive people.
We just say them sometimes.
They just come out. They come out.
They're usually reactionary. That's why they're unpopular opinions.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion. No,
Custodies should have transhuman and -1 damage simultaneously.
That's true. It's true. Yeah. I think all the things that I think of saying are like actually not unpopular. They're unpopular to like you or Brian, but everyone else like agrees. Like I have lots of opinions about the current Tau design, and Brian's like, no, like
I don't care about the current Tau design. Like, you can say anything.
No, I know,
like,
but Brian
go
will.
for it, man.
Like I hate the way that they have the army designed so that like when it's good, it's oppressive and not fun to play against, and then when it's bad, it's just bad and nobody's having fun. So
no, I think
I think that's a generally like agreed upon position.
Yeah, I think he would agree that like it's a feel bad army right now.
Like Thursday like gave me flashbacks to like fighting against him.
It was so reminiscent of us playing tournaments against him. I was like, are we live? What's going on?
I know. I was like, I got sent right back. Yeah, it was super weird. So, yeah.
Yep. Thanks, Cry All. How would the Astraeus Void Shield work with the Iron Hand Feel No Pain? Since you can only use one rule to ignore wounds. Also, what would go with the Big Tonk? You just pick one.
You pick one.
Can't use both. You pick one.
Yeah. Once your Void Shields are gone, you still get your 6 up.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's it.
And what would you put with it? So this is actually so Shane actually has he got an Astraeus recently, for Christmas, and so he's been talking about building around it. And I think with an Astraeus list, Iron Hands naturally, you build around you bring several supports to make it better, buff it up. So you bring your Psyker to give it the +1 armor save. You're going to want to give it +1 to hit probably,
or BS2.
Yeah, or BS2, either way. So you can have Tech Marine that will also heal him for flat 3 and to give him +1 hit. And I kind of leave it there, to be honest. The Psyker also should have Psychic Fortress. Yep. Give it an invuln, otherwise it will die because Eradicators. And then the rest of your army has nothing to do with the Astraeus. It says the Astraeus is the big shooty tank that's going to be in the middle.
Shooting's covered.
Shooting's covered. And everything else needs to score, right? So you're taking things that can pop out, do some scoring, even just regular intercessors.
Combat. Dude, bring Blade Guard vets. The guns that are good at killing an Astraeus are good at killing Blade Guards. Yeah. Now they have a choice.
Exactly. Yeah. Just
play the game.
Focus on scoring. That's how you do it.
Excellent. Thank you, Gergely again. What do you think about Eldar giving out BS, maybe weapon skill penalties, to other armies? According to Death Watch, anti-Eldar strat, they might. Yeah, maybe. I don't.
Well, they've always kind of been around that. So the reason that the Death Watch strat is ignore penalties when shooting at Eldar,
right?
Because they've traditionally had the hard to. They have several things with hard to hit. They have the flyers. They have a late talk, and so I think that they could add that in a bit. But the thing is, with all the stacking pluses and minuses, only capping at 1, I actually think we're going to see less of that personally. Like, they're not going to tech into it. I think they're leaning away from that identity. It used to be like, here's my flyer, whatever unit that can be -3 to hit, and now it doesn't matter. And so I think they're going to tech away from that.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
The idea, because like, -3 to hit is dumb, obviously. Sure. They got rid of it. They're never going to bring that back.
Yeah.
But I think it is another way to make an army durable.
Yeah, it's true.
Is to debuff your opponent, make them worse at shooting.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool, and I think it's less bad than -3 to hit, because you pick a thing, and the one thing is worse. So like the Eradicators that scare me. Yeah. I'm afraid of the Eradicators.
Yeah.
They're -1 ballistic skill. They're hitting on 4s.
Right.
Then I lightning fast. They're hitting on 5s. Haha! I'm Eldar, right? Like
well, you can't do double -1.
No, they're -1 ballistic skill. They become BS4.
Oh, you debuff literally the ballistic skill.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the lore justification behind like projecting these debuffs?
They're blind. You blinded them.
It's like, yeah.
Blinded by the light. I don't know.
Okay.
Like what conceal reveal? I don't know.
So it's a way of getting around the maximum -1 to hit, basically. It's cheeky.
In a way that is less abusive. Because if you have one unit that you want to keep alive and you make it -3, your opponent can't interact with it.
Yeah.
But if you have one unit you want to keep alive, and one unit that you know threatens your one unit, you say like, oh, well, that's not going to shoot this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's interesting.
Or you could say like, that unit can't shoot this unit.
Right.
Like it's invisible. They think this is invisible. Yeah. They can bring back invisibility, but with, narrower constraints.
How about, they just can only be hit on 6s. That's not modifying anything.
No. All right, thanks again, Martin. Adrian, you wanted Dark Angel books. I'm listening to the Dark Angel audio collection on Audible. Pretty decent listening to Asmodai torture a Black Legionnaire.
Sweet, I'll check it out.
Why would he do that? They're on the same side.
That's dark. Literally, because they both wear black armor. Thank you. I'll check it out. And Audible will be useful because I'm always painting or working in the studio, so it's good to.
I'm having a struggle with Audible.
Yeah, how so?
I have 12 credits, and they're gonna start expiring.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Because I'm slow listening.
I can't.
Whatever that means.
There's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like when I'm driving here, I can't focus on a book.
You
know?
Yeah. No, it takes much more like cognitive processing power than like just tuning out to music.
Right. Exactly. I feel like I'm so busy these days. I don't
Mhm.
have the brain space.
Yeah.
For an Audible book.
Spend those credits, man. Just
buy
anything.
more. I already have like 6
Something.
unlistened to Horse Heresy books. So I'm gonna get 12 more unlistened.
You should get like
Horse Heresy books.
because the thing is everything's 1 credit, right? Regardless of how long it is. And there's a lot of like tiny Warhammer stories I would never buy because it's like an hour long. There's some orc ones there. So just do that. You can give it an hour. You got an hour, Bridger. It's fine.
Do I have an hour? I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dungeon Master. At 3 hours into the stream, it looks like you're doing post game on a match where Adrian's Mortarion killed all of Bridger's army. No, I still have Gilliman. Okay, still have Gilliman.
Yeah.
King of the castle.
But luckily, I won. Reference earlier in the show where I'm fine just fixing things. But I will say, I have all of his little cherub nurglings.
I don't know how you did it, man.
But I've never broken them off.
I had to be real careful picking them up.
Yeah, I've broken his whole wing off, but not the little bits. So good to hear from you, Dungeon Master. We're just hanging out.
Yeah,
for 3 hours,
just hanging out for.
I mean, I think it's cool. I'm glad you guys could take advantage of it because I felt bad that we couldn't.
It's a chill sesh, you know.
Yeah,
We're just.
It's nice.
It's a lazy Saturday.
Exactly.
Hanging out.
Kind of needed that.
Thank you, Matthew. Hey all, picked up an Apocalypse Eldar box. 15.
Cool.
Oh boy, I'm not gonna be able to do Eldar acronyms. WG, where White Grandfathers. Wizard.
Yes. WG. Wraithguard.
Wraithguard. 15 Wraithguard, 2 Warlords, and a Seer.
Wraithlords. Warlords and the Seer. Nice.
What should I buy to bump up to 2,000 points? Want to stay Wraith heavy for style points? Thanks.
So if you haven't built those as Wraith Blades, get at least 1 unit of Wraith Blades. We kind of like 2. They're really good for playing the mission, especially if you're going to be Wraith heavy. And then in the same vein, you're still going to want at least your Farseer and someone that can cast Protect Jinx. And I say that because you could take a Wraith Seer. And cool. Yeah, I think they're really cool.
If you're willing to go Forge World.
Yeah, exactly. But you can convert them. My Wraith Seers are just Wraith Lords that I magnetize the arm. But, yeah, I know. Heresy. Well, especially now because I can't run. Before it was like, oh, you can run 3 of the Wraith Lords and 3 of the Wraith Seers, and then now it's like you have to take 2 detachments. Anyways, definitely that. I think Wave Serpents are also great for that purpose, and that's going to get you decent way up there. Obviously, I think you need some regular troops like Dire Avengers and stuff. No way around that really, but at that point you would have like a genuinely good list, interesting list.
And interesting, yeah.
There's a point, so there's
interesting,
but there's a point afterwards where it's like it like falls off, right? It was like this, and then it like sharply falls off, unfortunately. Yeah. But they're super cool.
It's peak Eldar. You've hit peak Eldar. Not saying like the strongest Eldar list, saying like a balance of all things. It's a cool, thematic, vaguely strong.
Yes.
Peak Eldar.
It plays Warhammer.
Yep.
Totally. You could do Hemlocks too, which is kind of cool. Because they're wraiths. Yeah.
I haven't heard the name Hemlock.
I know. They used to be the Terrors.
In like 2.5 years.
Right? But 2 Hemlocks would be much better than
they're
1
flat 3
Wraith
damage, right?
I don't know. Currently,
the Flamer's flat 3 damage.
Yeah, and it's 2d3 shots. And they're Psychers.
You know what?
I would take that over a Wraith Knight.
Give it a shot. Let us know. Play against Death Guard. They can't charge it.
Yeah,
flat 3 damage.
They could flame it though. But it's cool. I like it.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Tell us how it works. Thank you, Levi. Love the chill Q&A.
Thank you.
Question: Dante versus Captain with 2 Warlord traits and Visage of Death. Can't decide. Also, why can't Mephiston have +1 to cast Sanguinary Discipline? Because Mephiston is canonically the worst Chief Librarian. That's like a fact.
He is the coolest, though.
He is the Lord of Death. Too busy doing that job to be a good librarian.
Yeah, that's right.
He got crushed by a house.
Yeah.
He woke up, got jacked. Like, he went to the gym. He was like, I can't get crushed by a house again. He went to the gym. Stop reading those books.
Yeah.
He's no longer good
That's right.
at wizarding.
Yeah.
Dante versus Captain with 2 Warlord traits. Here's the deal, yo.
Visage of Death, though, is like really good.
You just put it on somebody else. That's the thing. Like, you can load up a Captain with 2 Warlord traits, or
that's true.
You just distribute those Warlord traits amongst other people, and you make Dante your Warlord, because he is a real G.
You really like him.
Dante,
like legitimately like him. Like
yeah, no,
really good.
Like I think he's good.
Okay.
He's certainly underrated. Talk about people saying things are underrated. Dante, underrated. He hits pretty hard.
Yeah.
9-inch Chapter Master aura with a faction that wants to go fast.
That's cool.
That makes a big
That does actually.
difference. And he's cool. He needs a new model though.
He does need a new model.
So probably like Kit Basham or something.
Yeah.
His model sucks.
Yeah, I would take Visage of Death, and then can you put that on anyone?
No.
That's a bummer.
Maybe. I don't think so.
If you can.
It has to be somebody. Oh yeah, maybe. Because cabins don't normally have the death mask.
Correct.
Death Company cabins
Correct.
have the death mask,
Yeah, that's true.
but normal cabins don't. So I think you can put it on.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Anyone that
I
wants
have
to
the
be up
book
there.
right here. I just
Yeah, no worries. No, I was just thinking in my head of who it could go on, but it's it's all good. I like it.
Yeah,
it's a great relic.
Put it on your librarian that's not Mephiston.
Don't you have to get within 3 of the units? Ooh.
So
No.
put it on your librarian dreadnought.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Thanks again, Martin. Love how many people are still asking if the game finished and who won. I think at this point you should just pretend you played. Much easier.
Yeah.
We did play.
We did.
We tabled each other and then had a duel, but
Yeah.
the time ran out. Round 5.
Yeah.
We were gonna have a duel, but
That's true.
this is as close as we got.
Mortarion and Gilliman did kiss though, at the end.
That little
That's true.
smooch.
Yeah, that's true. You guys
Gilliman was
missed
up on his tippy toes.
Yeah. I don't know what thumbnail we're gonna put for this show, but
That. Just recap that. That's
that was
the thumbnail.
unrelated, but you know what? You're right.
All right, thanks, Todd. I know it's hoping too much, but I'd like to see a Cabal Dreadnought equivalent. The Talos is cool, but Covens aren't my favorite. Is 5 armies too many for 40k? No.
No.
We have like 20-something.
We have so many.
So divide that by 3. You're good, dude.
You're totally fine. It's all good. I would love to see that. I think there's a lot of other Coven stuff that they could
What
do.
would it look like?
Like a big flesh monstrosity,
No,
like
it's a Talos.
no, like
We
a
want a Cabal
Redemptor size
We
thing.
want a Cabal.
Oh, Cabal.
A Cabal Dreadnought.
okay.
What would it look like?
I don't.
I don't think it fits their aesthetic.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. What I could see though is like a mid-size.
It would end up being like a. Where are your Warwalkers? It would be like a Warwalker, but
Yeah, or like a like a corrupted Wraith Knight. They're over there, on that. It could be cool.
do that?
How would you do it? Like lore-wise and aesthetic-wise?
No, lore-wise, it's.
Like what's making this thing work?
Well, it's like a Warwalker. I mean, they corrupted a Warwalker. That's what the lore would be. But like, functionally
Functionally,
and like physically, what would the model look like?
it would be very sharp and pointy. It would have advance and charge. It would be like mortifiers, like a big mortifier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it needs? A saw blade in the belly. So its
Yeah.
whole belly is just a saw spinner.
Yeah, the round.
And it can like
whole thing.
just
It's
hula
the
hoop.
hula hoop of death. I like that. There you go.
That
Ship
would
it.
be great.
That would be so silly. Oh man. I'd
All
love
right.
for them to have like a combat barge, to be honest.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
With a saw blade in the belly. And it
Yes,
just
naturally.
spins
The
around.
whole thing is a saw blade. Yeah.
A Beyblade. It would be the
It
Cobblade.
would be a Beyblade. That's right.
Thanks again, Martin. Do you think GW will ever move all the old Space Marine characters to new models, and would that require Primaris? How long will we have to wait? I really don't think they're ever going to kill the old Space Marines.
Yeah?
I don't think they'll ever do it.
I think eventually, in a long time, they have been very smart from the beginning of this of the launch of the new Marines, right? Remember when they first came out, 8th edition. At first, people were like, "Oh my God, Primaris! They're going to replace everything," and they didn't. They were actually terrible. You would never play Primaris when they first came out, and then little by little, they got better and better, and it got to the point where people were like, "Okay, these models are amazing. We're sort of acclimated to them. We haven't been playing with them because they've been worse." And then James was like, "Okay, they're going to be just like better than the regular. Well, mostly better. They're still like obviously we see mixes of armies everywhere,
Right.
but they're like starting to strictly upgrade the units. Like the Intercessor is now strictly better than Attack Marine in most ways, right?
Yeah.
And so they've been really smart where it's like, now we're asking for it. We were like, please make the Primaris Marines like good so we can play with them. And that was a really smart move because if they had done that immediately, I think they would have been outraged. People would have been so mad.
Yeah.
So,
But I think they'll be pulling old Marines around on a chain, like deadweight.
Yeah.
It'll just be in the Space Marine Codex is going to be this thick forever
yeah.
because they can't like
It's going to get thicker because they're going to
they
keep
can't
adding.
forsake their old audience. People have been playing this game for like 1 billion years.
Yeah.
They own 3 of every model, and they can't kill their dedicated audience.
Yeah,
they're old Space Marine lovers. Always have their old Space Marines, and they will always want to be able to play them.
I think they should do 41K, and that'll be like the current game. And then 40K, you can use your small Marines.
No, they'll go to 50K. They'll jump another 10,000.
10,000 years?
Yeah, because it's 30K, 40K. They'll do 50K.
Who's going to be dead by then, though?
Everyone.
Well, no, just the humans.
I think Eldar will be extinct in 10,000. Let's be real.
10,000?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're on their way out, man. I don't know if they're going to make another 1,000.
Yeah, but like the scale of their extinction, I think, is like a scale that's like beyond everything. Like they were already in decline when humans started to.
They were in decline,
like rise.
But now so many people are killing them.
Yeah.
And they don't make more.
It's accelerated, you're saying.
They don't like.
Yeah.
They don't have any planets anymore. They just have ships. And every time they lose a ship, it's gone forever. They're not making any more of those.
But so they could primarify them. It'll be like in Age of Sigmar when like suddenly like a random character appears out of nowhere, like Sigvald, and it's like, by the way, I survived, and now I'm more powerful than ever because they have to explain how this guy survived for 10,000 years, and they're like, well, now he's mega, and you're like, okay. So like the Harlequins will come out and they'll be like super buff with like 4 arms and like doing dances everywhere, and be like, oh, this is it.
4 arms, 4 legs, and a tail.
Yeah.
And they'll dance around.
Yeah, they'll be gene stealers. Good question.
That was a great answer. Thanks again, Martin. As this seems like a behind-the-scenes version of your stream, I know Adrian drinks all the way through streams. What do you do if you need the roulette?
I'm going to assume that's a weird Martin way of saying bathroom?
I don't know. I don't really know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't know. And it's coffee, too.
You can always spin this around.
Oh.
Maybe it was supposed to be toilet and it autocorrected?
The toilet. Yeah, I don't know. It's never been a problem for me. Temperature is a problem for me when it's cold out here, but I don't feel it until the moment the game ends. It's the funniest thing. Like, even if like it's not like an adrenaline thing, we're like, oh my god, Brian! But like I'm like focused on the game we're playing, and then we like stop, we go into QA, and I'm like, it is cold in here all of a sudden. I don't feel it until that moment. But I can't speak to the other elements. Never been a problem.
You come in with like, so you have a shirt, and then you have like a sweater, and then you have like a cardigan over that, and then you have a winter coat.
That's
You're
right.
like, all right, guys.
And a scarf and a beanie now.
My Arctic adventure. I'm ready to play Warhammer.
I'm a California boy. It's cold here. It's like 60 degrees.
All right, last one of the night. Thanks, Cobra Commander.
Hey.
It's the day, not the night.
That's right.
Feels like the night. Hey, Brian. Brian, loving the new look. Is today the day you publicly commit to painting the Ares for Bridger?
Oh.
He'd really appreciate it. Hardy har har. I will buy and paint an Ares. I, Brian, will buy and paint an Ares for the studio.
Well, there you go.
You heard it here first.
It's happening. I like it. Thank you for agreeing to that, finally. You're going to have to uncover it from the pile.
It's been a long... No, an Ares.
Oh, an Ares.
It's been a long-standing meme between me and Cobra. Is I want Brian to get me an Ares.
Well, you finally...
And he has to paint it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
So,
but he has to paint it.
Why are you talking about yourself in the third person, Brian? It's kind of weird.
You know? It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I, Brian, want an Ares for the studio because it would be cool to give us more options for Custodes that aren't super strong.
Absolutely. We just had another one.
Well, you can read it because it's not here. Oh, it's here.
Martin, I was saying toilet, but I tried to spell it in the French way for some reason. Toilet. Bidet. Good day. I'm just making sure we didn't miss anything else. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. How long was that? That was over 3.5 hours. Yep. Well, again, really, really sorry for having to cancel the game. We will play this game next Thursday, regular time, preview. Bye, Bridger.
You keep going.
Will do. And so thanks for just hanging out and chatting with us. Hopefully we're able to answer some of your questions. I am going to go home, going to work on my Dark Angels, going to work on, I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm really excited. I just picked up even more Terminators. Everyone's been asking how to get Deathwing Terminators. You get regular Terminators and you convert them. And I've also been 3D printing a bunch of stuff. But anyways, that is that. For members, we have a Tuesday game. We haven't put the vote up yet, but we will have it up very soon. And that's that. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll catch you guys next time on the Tabletop.